Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NASCAR's oldest super speedway, Darlington Raceway. We're live for the special Buttkicker Southern 500 for race number 7 of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. I'm Hunter Sleppy, and joining me, as always, is executive producer Harold Darner. How's it going, Harold?
Pretty good, man. Back to another track that I've actually been to.
Yeah.
I love this track. I got to be here at the very first Saturday night race before Mother's Day way back. I want to say it was like 2006, I want to say, somewhere in that range.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, happened to know Carl Edwards at the time, so we were invited over here while I was recruiting out of Jackson. So been here, and like we were talking about, like that road you can see right there, it's not a dirt road. That's a highway.
Yeah, highway passes right through this track. That's known as the Lady in Black. The granddaddy of them all, or Too Tough to Tame, Darlington Raceway. Now, just gonna give you guys a quick little recap of what you missed on last week, because we have a lot to cover in this race tonight. So we'll go ahead and get that for you. Last week's race at Kansas. Yep, Matthew Robinson leads the field to the green flag, and we're underway from Kansas. Side by side going into turn 1. Jordan Martin with the fastest lap of the race. That number 11 car. Oh, we got a spin in the back. It was Shane Wolf. James Shane Wolf went around coming out of turn 2, and the caution's out at Kansas. Skylerly going to get settled in. No, he's going to send it on the bottom, trying to get that lead from the 34.
Caution out. Looks like
he might have been the leader at the
a lot of drivers involved in this one. This one's going to get ugly.
Yeah, so we're looking like we might have had a big one here in the early stages of Kansas. You'll see here the 11's just trying to get in line and clips the 21 on accident, and then there's just nowhere to go behind these guys. You see Will Davis setting it in, going into turn 3, going to try and slide up in front of Garrett Heath in the 23. Oh, and into the wall, Paul Irvin. We got a wreck in the... There they go.
Ouch.
That's Paul Irvin, Will Davis. Oh, and Brian Dixon. Oh, that is just unfortunate for Dixon. Oh, no. That is something you do not want to see. Wow.
Yeah, it's like these three front drivers all in different systems. Seinfeld 28, Forrest 18, Hammer 3.
Oh, and Weishart, there they go. Nick Johnson and David Weishart into the outside wall in the front stretch. Caution's going to come back out once again at Kansas.
Wow.
But the 91 looking to get below the 67, and he's going to do it right here. They're going to be side by side for the lead going into turn 1. Hearn on the outside, Nichols on the bottom. Looking to get a good run to carry off the corner. Not going to be enough for the 91. It will be enough for the 67. Actually reversed that. Cameron Hearn got loose there coming out of turn 2 and lost it. So the 91 of Jake Nichols moves into the lead. He's now led the most laps, and he's going to lead the last one. Coming off turn 4, going to pick up his 3rd win on the season. Jake Nichols takes home the checkered flag at Kansas. That was a quick little recap of what happened last week at Kansas. An interesting one there. Jake Nichols getting his 3rd win. And really quick, we'll show you our point standings for not only the drivers, but for the teams as well. We got a lot to go over through with a throwback. So Slaughter, Jake Nichols, Eli Green, and Robertson are all locked in. All the guys below them are locked in from 5th through 10th. And then Michael Arch, Cameron Hearn, 1 point to the good over David Weishart. And Hearn is actually up 11 spots in the Cup standings. So a really good week for him. And Ryan Hartz, he is there 16th. He's also one of the biggest movers after last week, up 9 spots. Gary Lewis down 11 spots, as he is not even on the picture there. And then Brad Slaughter missed last week's race, so he is down 10 spots from that. And we'll go over to our team standings. It's a close battle here. 33-point advantage to Solar Flare Racing. Then you got JBR, Jacob Bell Racing, 2nd. Then behind them, it's a dogfight as well between David Weishart Racing, Physicus Motorsports. And then you got Infinite and Transcendent next to each other with Elite and Elwood Design Esports right behind those guys. So really close battles, not only in the driver standings, but in the team standings as well. And we've got less than 5 minutes left, and we've got a lot of throwback schemes to get to because it is Darlington. It is the Buttkicker Southern 500. So you know what that means. It's the throwbacks, the time that they come out once a year, or if you're like Ryan Swan, you leave them on for the rest of the season. This driver, although he is the quickest, he does not have a throwback. It's always that one guy, or a handful. Saw it in the Cup race on Sunday. That was James Scioli in the Buttkicker machine. And now there is another one, David Weishart in the 33 Buttkicker throwback. He went over and I think he touched the moon, Harold, on the backstretch before we went live.
Oh yeah, he launched it. He tried to leave the confines. So he was Ryan Hart's in that RCR, wasn't it?
Coca-Cola throwback for Dale Sr.
Yeah, the old Richard Childress Racing 3. So
that was set before Trackhouse came out with their throwbacks.
Right.
There's the number 91, Jake Nichols, the hottest driver in the Cup Series. 3 wins in 6 races. Went back-to-back last week at Kansas, and I can't really see his throwback, but I can tell it's a throwback.
Just don't know
Something
who it is.
other than the traditional purple that we see. Now, this is a throwback in itself. Old Talladega Nights, the first car Ricky Bobby ever ran. Driven by Alan Balancino.
I want to go fast. Who want to go fast? I want to go fast.
Or if the Wonder Bread paint scheme made the cut.
It did. It's on Dom DeLeo's car.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
So Garrett Heath.
That was actually a throwback that Sam Mayer ran in the Xfinity Series.
I'm still loving this one here. Cameron Hearn putting out the Skull Bandit. Looks really good on this car.
Yeah, Cameron Hearn was over at Darlington in real life over the past weekend with him and his son, both having a whale of a time. I think his son had more of a good time than Cameron did, but nonetheless, still good to see the youngster enjoying the pit lane down there, and that Skull Bandit throwback. And then we got Paul Irvin in the 48. His scheme isn't loaded yet.
No, I don't think it is going to load because I don't see him on the board at all. So it's not sending it to me. If he does have one, it's something with his trading paint's not working. But here's Connor Kresick in the 14. Go figure. He picks the guy who actually drove the 14. So
yeah, Tony Stewart in the old Office Depot throwback scheme. And 10th, we got Justin Wilson in the 58. So he's still running his paint scheme.
Yeah, his
that he traditionally runs.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting creature there on the side of that car. And there is Dom DeLeo, the Wonder Bread paint scheme that made the cut. We got both throwbacks for Ricky Bobby. Oh, I like that 81 up there, too. I don't know where he's at in the practice sheet because we're going down from the top drivers in practice to the bottom. Nick Johnston in the 28 Infinite car, still running the traditional paint scheme that he's ran all year. Then 13th, we got the 8 of Matt Alverson.
So I'm being told that so I'm going to re-download the paints again, but I'm being told that the 48 does have a paint scheme. So I'm going to re-download them, see if that changes anything. But Matt Alverson has got his 8. Ryan Swan, I believe he's the other Coke.
Yep. That is not a. That is exactly what you're seeing. It is a carbon copy from Elwood Design Esports. Alan Elwood, actually. That paint scheme, we already knew what we were going to see Ryan Swan running. And then a few days later, Trackhouse announced their Coca-Cola throwback schemes for both the 1 and the 99. And that is very, very similar to the one that ran just yesterday. Then 15th in the practice sheet, we got Randy Bechtel, although I don't see him out there on the track. On the board. Actually, no, he is on the board because he's 15th. Duh. So while we are trying to load in the different paint schemes, you can vote on our poll. Which team will win tonight's Elite Entertainment Cup Series race?
There it is.
Buttkicker Southern 500. And there is the 48 of Paul Irvin's throwback scheme that did not load in immediately, but now it's loaded in.
Yeah, just thought it was kind of strange.
So make sure you guys pick the correct, try to pick the correct team. Couldn't be a team at all. It could be an open team. So your options tonight, and make sure you spell this correctly and type it correctly too. So it's !bet, the team name, and then however many channel points you got, anywhere from 5 to 100. So the options are Solar, Transcendent, Infinite, Physicus, Elwood, JBR, DWR, Elite, and if an open car wins, or if you think an open car is going to win, you select non-team. So we've got a good bit of bets placed in already. We got JBR with 100, JBR with another 100, Solar with 50, but they they didn't. Oh, they typed it in wrong.
Uh-oh, they did it wrong. What? All right, so we got qualifying coming out.
It's not Solar Flare, it's just Solar.
Well, yeah, just Solar. Solar.
Got GWR with 50. And it looks like Harold just picked Solar. I'm looking through. Got another 50 placed on Solar. Jacob Bell, I don't know who to bet. And puts 25 on JBR.
On himself. That's good. You know, it's kind of like horse racing, man. If you don't bet on your own horse, that kind of says something.
Bet it all on Irvin, we're seeing in the chat. Make sure you guys get those bets in. You'll have up until the green flag and maybe a lap or two after that because it doesn't end right away.
Yep.
And as always, in qualifying, you'll see the drivers in the top 10 or so shuffle throughout the leaderboard on the top left. And then on the top right, just below the one to go logo, you'll see the fastest. And it looks like Justin Wilson's going to forego that lap that he was running. Nick Johnston, currently our quickest driver, 29.702. We saw drivers get down to the 29.4s, maybe the 29.3s for practice. And there's Ed Robertson in that
got milk.
But it's got wood. The CNC logging throwback.
There you go, yeah. Infinite with Perkins, the new Hearts and the Coke.
Garrett Heath in the throwback that we saw, that number 23 car. There's one we did not see. That's Rafe Slate in the number 12.
Try to get
Yeah, we got a good look at the throwback scene. We got a lot of throwbacks here tonight, folks.
There you go. How about that? A little better?
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So there's that one for Slate. There's Michael Larch. And
I don't believe this is the throwback, but it is Rogue Energy. It's an intriguing paint scheme. And now there's a throwback, Forrest Smith. Going with Kyle Busch or Mark Martin or whatever your heart desires of the two.
The CarQuest, right?
Yep. Boy, really good throwback. I don't know if the 81's on track, but I saw his throwback and it was it was a good old Dale Jr. throwback.
DEI.
Yes, absolutely. That's a different shade of red though, because
Sifford actually has solar flare now on his. Let's see what he has in the front.
And that was the throwback scheme that Ryan Swan forgot to switch out of last season in the ARCA series that we ran.
With this one?
Yep, for his ARCA car.
Ah, with the
he left it on. He liked it so much.
All right.
Oh, more
Perrier.
Ricky Bobby. You spilled my macchiato, Ricky Bobby.
Say you like crepes.
I like grapes.
Say you like crepes. Oh
Old
boy.
Spice.
There you go.
It continues. I think we've got a throwback car from all of the Ricky Bobby. Oh, man. It looks like this is another intriguing throwback scheme from Adam Capps in the 55. Oh, there we go. Good old Steve Park.
Mm-hmm.
Number 36 of Randy Bechtel. That's his throwback. Now, the 4 of Daniel Miglin is on the pole currently with a 29.444. Actually, 446, excuse me. That was what Kresik we just saw on the 14. Let's see what Miglin's paint scheme looks like as Volante Ballard sporting the scheme they ran last week. Oh, I don't think we can.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Johnny Bravo.
Thank you very much.
I definitely recall seeing that
Thank you very much.
on a race car back in the day. Here's the 53 of Shane Williamson. I think he is still, yep. I think he's still in the gray 53.
He's still sponsorless.
From Shepherdsville, Kentucky, Shane Williamson. There's Bechtel, 8th quickest.
That's pretty good by Daniel Miglin. Oh, Weishart
to the top of the chart.
I said, I don't think we've talked much about Daniel Miglin at all this season.
Yeah, we haven't talked too much about him, but he's got a pretty fast card. Top 5 in qualifying. And as we go through the different throwback schemes there's one. And that is Chris Sinifine in the 45. That was a neat throwback scheme, if I might add. He's 13th on the board. There's Dom DeLeo. We saw his. Wanted to note, traditionally we have 3 tire sets for the races, but because this is Darlington and the Southern 500, it's a different track. It requires more tires than normal tracks, and instead of the traditional 3 tire sets that we have, we will have 5 sets tonight.
I think this might
Jake
be
Nichols. That's the Ryan Newman.
Yeah, Altel, right?
I believe so. That's the Ryan Newman throwback scheme for the 91 of Jake Nichols, as Alan Ballancino goes to the top of the chart with a 29.340. We got all the Ricky Bobby cars in this race.
Is that a thing? I can pick a Ricky Bobby car to win instead of change the thing now? Rookie Ryan Newman, they're saying, on the 91.
Yeah, with the rookie stripes.
Yeah.
Jake Nichols is always one to watch out for. He's got 3 wins and 6 starts this season. Once again, there's the 14 of Okrasic. So Jake Nichols on his first lap, 8th quickest. Let me go ahead and make my pick for which team will win. I'm going to go out on a limb. Let me just double check, make sure I spelled it right. There we go. That's my wild card. Infinite Gaming.
Infinite Gaming, huh?
Indeed. There's Rafe Slate going out on the track. I think that was Gary Lewis just saying, not qualifying, but should check out my throwback. James did a great job, like always. So it looks like James Shelf made the throwback scheme for, I believe, Gary Lewis. If I'm not mistaken, that's Rowdy Burns. 51 in the Twitch chat. Oh, there you go. Good old number 69 paint scheme. That's a neat looking throwback, if I might add. Still a handful of drivers that have yet to go out and qualify. We've only got 22 drivers that have posted the time. And Jake Nichols actually went to the top of the chart, but not for long. Connor Okrasic dethrones. I was just going to say, 1/1000th of a second. Nichols was faster than Ballancino, but now Connor Okrasic in the 14, 2/1000ths of a second quicker than Jake Nichols, with 3/1000ths of a second separating our top 3. Qualifying is just that close here. We were just on the 7 of Skyoli, the fastest man in practice. Looks like that is the 79 on the racetrack. That's Tyler Nichols, brother of Jake. And now Skyoli to the top with a 29.261.
Go to the wall there, Tyler Nichols.
Well, that lap will not count. There's the 12 of Rafe Slate stopping on the track, and it looks like he will be done for qualifying as we have 30 seconds left. Surprised we didn't see more drivers go out and put up laps. Only 24 so far on the board, and I don't think we'll get any more.
Wow. I'm down 190 points behind Jake right now.
I'm third on the board. I'm doing it for Dale.
it's like, we're just checking. You could do exclamation point points that put you where you are on the leaderboard, tells you how many points you have. Kind of a neat little thing.
And then you can do exclamation point store, and you can look at what we got to give away. Got stickers, got T-shirts, got sweatshirts, got iTunes gift cards for grabs. So make sure you rack up those channel points. So we go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup here for tonight's Buttkicker Southern 500. James Skyerly on the pole with Connor Okresic on the front row alongside. And then we got Jake Nichols, Alan Balancino in row 2. Row 3, David Weishart and Daniel Miglin. Row 4, Nick Johnson and James Shanewolf. And then row 5, Garrett Grant and Ryan Hartz.
And on row 6 is DeLeo and Williamson. And Robinson and Heath behind them. And row 8, Bechtel and Hearn. I'm trying to see if I can get a better run on some of these guys we can see. There we go. Larch and Seidenfaden are in row 9. Row 10, Slaughter and Robertson.
Row number 11, Rafe Slate, Adam Capps. Row 12, Jay Perkins and Mark Patterson. And then behind these guys are those that did not put up laps for qualifying. So looks like we got Tyler Sifford, Delonte Ballard, row 13, Justin Wilson, Jacob Bell, row 14, and then Forrest Smith and Tyler Nichols in row 15. Tyler tried to put up a lap, but got in the wall and just stopped from there.
And finishing up, Culberson and Martin in row 16. 17 is Paul Irvin and Mr. Eli Green. Gary Lewis inside 18. Outside him is Alverson. And Ryan Swan will be shotgun on the field in the 19th row. We have more cars than the Cup Series in real life that was here Sunday.
Indeed we did.
So let's see how they do versus the big boys.
Yep, 37 drivers lined up for tonight's special, the Buttkicker Southern 500. Gonna be, it's not actually 500 miles. That would be nuts. But there is the logo, really nice touch there. So it's 200 laps, 272 miles total. We're looking at a fuel run of possibly 65 to 70 laps, but Harold got his info from other teams that have different numbers than mine. So we could see anywhere from possibly 75 to 80.
We'll have to see. I'm saying 75 to 80 if we get that far. The thing about it with the fuel run here, it's the tires that are going to bring you down to Darlington.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why we have 2 extra sets, so 5 tire sets in total. And real quick, let's take a look at our weather presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. It's going to be sunny for the majority of the race, but the sun will set towards the end. Partly cloudy skies right now. Air temp 78, track temp 82, humidity 55%, and winds from the south at 6 miles an hour.
All right, man. We already picked our teams, but does that mean we got to pick our drivers?
I think we'll just leave it to the drivers and let them battle it out.
Oh, so we get more than one driver, you're telling me. So we get the, we get the whole team. So is any of the one? All right, so here we get going here with the racing.
James Skyerly going to lead the field to the green flag, and we're underway from Darlington for the Buttkicker Southern 500. We'll see this a little bit like Kansas last week. Everybody wanted to get up in the outside lane or just a one-group track because of how tight these corners are. We already got one car in the wall. I believe that was the Mark Patterson machine. Scrape the wall there in turn 2, and we'll be seeing a lot of that tonight. The top groove looking like it'll be the preferred groove. Can make some passing there on the bottom. Can get cars down there for some side-by-side, but mostly you'll see guys running up near the wall, and that's where the lady in black comes in with the nickname there, the Darlington Stripe. No, we will not be counting every single stripe because that is too much to ask for.
Oh, man, we'd have to have eyes everywhere. Or actually somebody sitting there. Somebody sitting in turn 3 or 4 with a clicker. Click, click, click. You know, that's one thing I thought was really weird when I was at this racetrack. We were outside because all the promenade, just like almost any other racetracks, around 3 and 4, starts between 4 and 1 on the front stretch. And you literally can walk underneath turn 4 because of how it's banked, it's stilted basically, and you could hear how loud it was when they hit the wall. Pretty cool. All right, let's get the leaderboard up, and there we go. Oh,
Yeah, Skyoli running away with it. Big lead from the get-go for that number 7, and fast lap after fast lap for that number 7.
Well, that's very deceptive here, though. Fast means your tires are being eaten.
Yeah, that is true. We as it is with every track, we'll see comers and goers, but we'll see it sooner here at Darlington because of what this racetrack does to tires, just rips it apart.
If you play it right, the strategy will get you a win here. However, the very first league race that I've ever won on NASCAR 2003, which is now iRacing, was here at Darlington in what was called a hardcore league, basically where you had to race from within the cockpit instead of any kind of arcade view, and by staying out. But man, they were coming hard, 2 seconds a lap, and I was able to keep it ahead by half a second at the very end with them breathing down my neck. So it could be done, but you got to do it just right.
I'll say, speaking of breathing down the neck, David Weishart breathing down the neck of Jake Nichols as they are close in tail for that third spot, the 33 right behind the 91. So right in car and in studio on board with the 33 of Weishart.
Just kind of look at that wheel and how he's trying to put very little movement into the wheel, because that's where your tires are going to go away, is sawing at that wheel.
Yep, and that orange tape you see, that is the center of the steering wheel. So there you can see it straight right there, and once they get into the turn, might peek down and make a move. No, going to back off a bit, but see how much he's got to turn there.
Well, you do know that because these cars are set up to turn left, you're actually turning slightly to the right on the front stretch, but the driver in car, he can change it's called an offset. It's basically how far left or right on that pinion gear where it's slapped on in the actual race car. So I do it the same thing like Weishart does, that where I want the tape up and down when I'm on the front stretch, as in centering the wheel, even though we know it's slightly to the right.
So looking here, it looks like Jake Nichols gets a better exit through 3 and 4. That's him up for that front stretch. But 1 and 2, Weishart's able to close up to the bumper of the 91, but just can't quite make a move. And that's mostly due to just how tight it is to go side by side in these corners. And I feel like it won't be too long before he decides to make a move.
I heard the engine change here, and I was wondering if he was shifting. Yeah, see, down at fourth gear.
I'll say they did shift in Sunday's race.
Yeah, and it's very strange because normally we're not supposed to be able to see this stuff, but this is pretty cool that we're able to see the onboard telemetry in these cars, because in all the other cars, you can't see what gear they're in. It won't let you.
And we actually just saw there in the pass for third. Weishart was able to complete the pass on Jake Nichols, so now Nichols down to fourth with Alan Balancino and now Nick Johnston closing in as they are also bumper to bumper. Good little pack here from around third to maybe ninth. Yep. Everyone's spread out.
The sun in the driver's eyes, though, because I can see coming off of, it's in 3 and 4. You can see that the golden hour working here.
Ryan Hart's looking to pass the 4 of Daniel Miglin. He's going to complete the pass. Nick Johnson looked low on the 70 Balancino. Not going to quite get that move done. So I'll tuck back in line.
Like searching up and down the system here. Looks like this is actually our closest racing. Here's Heath and Miglin, as you were talking about. Dick Johnson and Alan Balancino. Further back, Delonte Ballard and Rafe Slate. Pretty much your battles going, but
they are side by side, right behind Ryan Hart. Sorry, Heath and Miglin. Well, they were side by side.
Yeah, it's hard to to get passes done here. Looks like somebody back. I'm trying to grab back here. That's Hearn. Is that Grant? Did you just went by him?
Garrett Grant in the 5. He let him go in the front stretch. Like, hey, I know you got a faster car. I'm not going to bubble fight. Just pass me. I'll settle in. That is something we will see here occasionally. Because they will not risk going side by side through the corners, because that could always
Paul Urban
be a recipe
blinking
for
in and out.
disaster. Yep, that is him blinking out right in front of the number 11 of Jordan Martin. So those guys are running 27th and 28th currently. There we just saw it again, the 81 car going around, I believe, the 55 of Caps. That is Dwayne Culberson with that paint scheme. If we had a throwback vote, that'd be my vote. That paint scheme right there.
Oh, James Gaioli 2.7 ahead of Kresick, but he's got company with David Weishart now.
Yeah, Weishart is running him down. Got away from Jake Nichols, and now he's closed in on the number 14.
So our chat is too short of the number of drivers, so we need 2 more people to join just to match the driver count.
Now continuing to go on. So with the extra set of tires, crew chief Harold, when do you think these guys will come down pit road, and will they try and split into fifths or thirds, fourths? What are they going to do?
Whew. All right, so I'm saying 75 laps is the fuel run, so that would still require 2 stops for fuel. I'm thinking they're going to break it into thirds, or actually fourths, so they're going to stop 3 times. So 50 laps is what I'm looking at. 50, 100, and 150. That's the crew chief and me coming out. 50 laps per run, and then it'll still leave them with 2 sets of tires in case we have something happen later in the race.
Well, we got one driver that's already looked like they disconnected. That's Brad Slaughter. Yep. I don't know if we can go back and look at that.
It was like
an early exit.
Ooh, there was a little gaggle here. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, like Ray. There's like a bunch of guys that were involved in that. Let me see if I can find it. So we're gonna go back to a replay here.
Want to go replay and looking at the 88 of Brad Slaughter. There he is going on to pit road. I think he just pulled in and parked it.
Yeah, he might have had some contact. Let's see. I'm showing it was slow. Maybe I can find it here.
He just pulled off right there.
Yeah, not sure. I didn't see him involved really in anything. You find another one here.
Definitely has damage though on the right side. Now we got the 51 of Mark Patterson in the pit road now.
Yep.
We know Mark Patterson in the first lap in turn 2, he made contact with the wall. I'm not sure if that affected it at all. So really nothing there to find on the 88 of Brad Slaughter. We do see the 51, Mark Patterson in pit road, however.
I'm showing Seidenfaden, Rafe Slate, Eli Green, Mark Patterson, Alverson, Forrest Smith, Perkins, and Rafe Slate, all with incident points between laps 17 and 20. Rafe Slate was the latest one. They just got one. So it could have been up into the wall there, which probably was what it was.
Might be their Darlington stripe.
Yeah, we hit it hard enough. That's what's going to happen. And the caution is now out. Looking like Eli Green and Forrest Smith are involved in this one.
Looked like it might have been on the front stretch, too. I think it was just smoke we saw. Not sure, but we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay.
Playing danger zone with that wall. On both sides,
right in front.
Actually.
So that's Green in front that got into the wall there, just coming out of turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like this carries into turn 4. Oh, yeah, he smacked it right there.
Oh, Green. Oh!
Oh, and right back in front of Forrest Smith.
That was the caution right there. So we see this from Oh, let's get a better view than that. There we go. So from the gyro cam, Forrest Smith, as you see him coming off of turn number 4. And it goes left. He catches it, but hits our friend here, Mr. Smith, pretty hard, actually.
Yeah, just got loose and spun it back to the right, but too far to the right, and then into Forrest Smith as we see a number of drivers down pit road with the extra 2 sets of tires. Might as well pull in and strap on those Goodyear Eagles.
Nobody gonna take the chance here.
I think Matt Alverson is, or he might have been on pit road earlier.
Matt Alverson was on pit lane earlier.
Actually, no, he was not.
Or no, actually, no, he didn't. And he did stay out. Maybe he tried to stay out for a lap.
It could be. Yeah.
We'll see.
First lap you lead is a bonus point.
Because he'll get eaten up 23 laps for sure. 0-2 of Eli Green assessed the penalty for causing that caution, and exactly what he did. He's like, I'll take that easy point. Like, thank you very much. But Scioli back up in the front. So race control says 0-2, which we saw, loose condition. Caught it and basically spun in front of Mr. Forrest Smith.
And we're looking here. Second place is Jake Nichols. Now, he was 4th when the caution came out, so picked up 2 spots. Weishart staying in the 3rd spot. Okresic losing 2 spots. Then Johnston, Balancino, Ryan Hartz, Shane Williamson, Garrett Heath, and Daniel Miglin rounding out the top 10.
Tells you about pit lane time. So from stripe to stripe, actually entry to exit, Jake Nichols, 47.5. The next best was Scioli, 47.7. David Weishart, 48.1, 0.6 behind. And Okresic, a 49.4. So
yeah,
getting in and out, Jake Nichols.
Looking through there, Matt Alverson in the 8th that stayed out to lead that bonus point. Mentioned that every point matters. He is 32nd in points, so he will take whatever he can get.
And he's getting that repair work fixed, looks like. 45 seconds is pit stop. So he might as well.
On pit road as well.
Yep. So everybody took the tires at 23. That's what I'm seeing. So I would say now let's reset this thing at 175. Divide, and then they're gonna try to see if they can split this into 2 stops. So thirds. So basically 60 laps, just shy of 60 laps from here. So around 80, I think, is where they'll go to. What I'm looking at. Chat saying that the number 3 of Mr. Hartz is going to be the winner tonight. Someone's got a crystal ball.
Could be. You never know.
No, Jake's been doing pretty good with that, with the channel point betting.
Oh yeah,
at least better than I've been doing, because that's where I'm losing all my points.
I'm just going with the flow. I'm like, if I feel like it might be that person or that team, I'm like, yeah, it'll be him. So far, 25 laps in, only 1 caution. Last year's race, we went caution free, so already a different story here. As the 7 of Skylerly on the bottom leads us back to the green flag.
And the Cup Series was our Thursday night league last season, correct? Wasn't it?
Wow. Yeah, it was.
So we had a lower
there from the 33 of Weishart getting in line in front of the 91 of Jake Nichols. That bottom got a good restart.
Yep, Weishart got around there.
Back there, Ryan Hartz in the 70 Balancino door to door for the 6th position. So they roll into 3.
I was saying there was a lot less cars than the 37 that started this race in that one. So
yeah, I think we had like 20, 22, something like that.
All right, starting to go to that single file again. The parade laps have started.
Yep, getting back in that rhythm. And then pick them off one by one whenever you guys can.
Whoa, Cameron
spin in the back. Yep, the 67 spinning down there. Oh, watch out. Looked like that was Tyler Nichols there going low to avoid that.
I
So
saw
Cameron
Cameron
Hearn
get
brings
loose
out,
there. Not sure if he had some help, so let's try to find that for us.
yeah, we'll see here from our one to go replay. Cameron Hearn bringing out the second caution of tonight's race at Darlington. Right around here in the back with Jay Perkins in the 49. So this was around the 16th and 17th spot. There he is going through turn 2 and
Oh,
just
wow.
loses it. Fortunate spin there because it looked like he was going to hit the inside wall, but spun back up, kind of like what Eli Green did. Coming off turn 4, got loose and just whipped it to the right. And so that will be our second caution. Going to be tough for the 67 to Cameron Hearn. He might have to come down pit road and use up another set of Goodyears.
Yeah, he definitely flat spotted those. As he went some sideways.
Yeah. He was spinning and not schwinning.
Spinning without schwinning.
Yep.
That's the slideways. And, of course, race control now telling me 67 will get the EOL for this. So, I'm thinking when pit's open, he'll go down, take his service, come back out, be the last car on the lap.
Hey, might as well, because you already in the back.
Not going to lose anything.
Not going to hurt too much.
No. We're talking about Cameron, just his luck is not with him on this series.
No, it is not.
Been getting bit quite a bit lately, but mostly not his own doing. This one,
No.
Uncharacteristic of him, and he slid out. So
It happens from time to time.
yeah.
So 2 cautions in 29 laps for tonight's Buttkicker Southern 500 in the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. That is brought to you by Elite Entertainment. We would like to thank Elite Entertainment for their support of the Elite Entertainment Cup Series and from all of us here at Area. Be sure to check out Elite Entertainment on Facebook and book them to DJ your next event. So the Elite guys, consisting of Shane Wolf, Caps, Ed Robertson, and Cameron Hearn. Hearn just brought out that caution after a spin on the back. Shane Wolf has been blinking in and out a lot. I've been noticing on the ticker because he keeps saying pit, then the interval, then pit. So he's got a little blinking issue there. Adam Caps in the 55 so far. So he might have actually pitted. He did pit. So he pitted. Shane Wolf looked like he pitted as well. And then the other driver, Ed Robertson, running 24th. So slow start for those guys, but Darlington, anything can happen. We saw it Sunday. Had a numerous amount of cautions and even a dump and run. But, it's in the early stages. Not even a quarter of the way done. So a lot can happen here. I mean, Cody Ware got 19th in the Cup race, so that just shows you that you can, if you stay out of trouble, good results will come.
You can do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, we suck again.
So different restart. That time we saw the 7 of Scioli restart on the bottom. Now we're going to see him restart on the outside. And once again, there is no choose cone rule, so only the front row you can choose. Everybody else has to stay where they are at. So the odd number positions are on the bottom, and the even number positions are on the outside. Only the leader has choice of where he can restart the race from. Now this will be interesting because, as mentioned, he chose the bottom on the previous restart, and the bottom got a better launch. We'll see if the outside lane will get a better launch this time around as the pace car pulls into pit road, the 7 of Scioli.
I think I would have.
From the outside.
And from the time that I've been on this track for this week on the service, I think the high side is the better one to have because you
stack up, we got
on the start.
Big stack up.
Wow. And
it was Dom DeLeo
all
spinning.
Around.
Boy,
So
oh boy, that
caution
is something
off
you do
before-
not want to see.
Yikes. Mimicking reality there. So that was pretty much everybody on the start. Let's try to look for Dom DeLeo, and let's get the replay up, chalked up here. So we're far chase here. This is gonna boost it a little bit here. Get us back to turn 4 as we get the pace car out of here.
Yeah, it was right around here. So that was about the 6th row where we saw these guys start to check up. And this is something we really haven't seen at all this year. Like with any of the tracks, even on the short tracks, we haven't seen an accordion effect this bad. So we'll see where it all went wrong. Ooh, this
is the 34. Who's that? The 34 of
Matthew Robinson.
Matthew Robinson gets into the back of the 22, and that's what starts this chain reaction. He might have got help from behind, though. Let me kind of see. Nope, he gets the jump, and that's where it starts.
There's Justin Wilson, Randy Bechtel, Rafe Slate, Delonte Ballard. Then everyone coming to a stop behind those guys. See if we can get a better angle of this. So 5 of Garrett Grant was involved in this as well. Obviously, the 34 of Matthew Robinson getting decent damage from the 12 of Rafe Slate.
I'm from the nose here. So you got to wait on the leaders. So we're coming to green.
And typically we've seen them go before this point. So I think they anticipate that they would have already went by now, and they still hadn't gone.
So not a lot of damage on the 34. Could have been a lot
worse.
Got
a good bit on the behind, though. The rear bumper. Anyway, there is our big one for caution number 3. A stack up on the restart. It'll be interesting to see what the admins decide here, because it really, before that restart, we've seen them get a good launch before that point of turn 4, like even before this, like where they are at. Like where the pace car's at now is when the leader, Skyoli, went. So they've been going earlier than that before, and I don't know why all of a sudden they just decided to wait and then go now.
Yep.
But as the leader, whenever that pace car comes down, you can go as soon as the tires are below the racing line or the racetrack.
If I was Skyoli, I'm going to wait. I would want to, if I'm on the high side, I'm waiting until I'm on the front stretch. I don't want to try to gas it from the corner. So he probably was that's why I think Skyoli probably waited a little bit, as you said. But race control says they're going to look at it a little longer because they're calling it right now a racing incident. So that basically means they'll be chalking it up later. No in-race penalty. Got a lot to sort out. We saw how many cars were involved in that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that did look. It does sound like the right call, racing incident, because there was just too much going on there. But a number of drivers down pit road still servicing damage to their machine. Got Michael Larch, Rafe Slate, and then Justin Wilson still down in the pits. That caution did help Mark Patterson because he was 2 laps down. Now he's only 1 lap down. If we get another one of those quick yellows, then he'll be right back on the lead lap.
We show Mike Larch is now down a lap. He's still in pit lane being worked on, though.
Was Paul Irvin involved in that wreck?
Believe he was.
So I'm looking through here, and someone said they are betting the mortgage on the 48. So might be down on a mortgage there, bud.
might be having to find a new place to live.
Yeah, maybe.
Sorry, this is kind of me. Nobody can afford a house anyway.
Yeah.
Get a cardboard shack, you'll be all right.
So we'll try this again.
Or move to California. Heard they give away houses down here. Yeah, but try this again. But like I said, I watched the 7 because I see he's going to want to wait until he's on the front stretch. See, he's waiting. Now he's on the front stretch, and where does he hit the gas? On the front stretch. It's good. I say good timing by Scioli. You don't want to spin the tires here. It definitely gets you eaten up really quick, and it gives them that good launch off on the flat, getting through turns 1 and 2. So we're back up in green flag racing now.
Cleaner restart that time.
Much better. We actually got a lap.
We got to turn 1.
Yeah. Stack ups do happen. It's like you were talking about. It's if you're not in the car, you really can't see the difference. Like, see if I can get back with David Weishart, kind of give you guys an idea of what it looks like from his perspective. But here's him, and we got him now in studio as well. And you kind of watch his RPMs. That's his foot on the throttle. You can see that RPM gauge in the car itself as well. But this is what you see. When you get up on another car, you can't see past that car. So they're all by timing, trying, like you said, time what they had gone earlier. And everybody else, not just you, Hunter, was thinking that they were going to go a lot earlier.
Yeah, and there's that sun as it sort of sets below the billboards and the grandstands over there on the backstretch, and then the sweeps over in turn 3.
It's a really good shot here, the gyro cam. You can see how the banking is. You also see that mirror that David has to see what's behind him, which right now is nobody.
Yeah, he's got a 6-car length gap between him and third-place driver Connor O'Kresick in the 14. So holding off that spot from Jake Nichols in the 91. Actually got to go to where Jake Nichols is, because Nick Johnston over there is right behind him, hunting for that 5th spot. From the 5th spot, excuse me. Hunting for the 4th spot.
Okay, so you got to watch Jake Nichols. He's got a lot of experience in a lot of different race cars in the iRacing service. Been around for a while. He used to be a Road to Pro guy. So that's he got a lot of talent, that young man does. So I would say he's not ever out of a race unless somebody wrecked him. But right now he's a clean race car, just biding his time, probably learning as much as he can about these other guys and who to race around and who he can't. As we just got Larch
in the back, it looked like Delonte Ballard got a good bit of that wall where we saw his car go a little bit down on the front stretch. And the car in front of him, Jacob Bell in that 77. We haven't talked about him yet or shown the paint scheme, but he's got the Ryan Blaney's father's paint scheme. Almost botched that one. Dave Blaney, that number 77 Buttkicker throwback. And Blaney's coming. And back from the famous 2003 finish between Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch, 2 1,000ths of a second. Who knows? We could see that be done again. See a lap car coming off pit road. It looks like that was Adam Capps in the 55. Move a little further towards the back here. We got Randy Bechtel in the 36. Then Rafe Slate right behind him. These are the guys that are towards the back that either pitted for damage or pitted just to top off on fuel. Maybe change some tires.
AJ's watches people lips while they race, so I need to watch out for AJ Roderick. It just, for some reason, I hear the banjo playing in the background. Hey, we surpassed the number of drivers with the number of viewers.
Yep, 39 at the moment. We thank everyone for tuning in for tonight's special event in the Elite Entertainment Cup Series, the Buttkicker Southern 500, in which you see we got 2 Buttkicker machines running 1-2. Got the 7 of Scioli and then the 33 of Weishart. Boy, they are still bumper to bumper for that 4th and 5th spot between Jake Nichols and Nick Johnston. Scioli continues to pull half a second on Weishart. We saw from the in-car view when Weishart was behind the 91 of Jake Nichols before our first caution came out. He would get the better run from turn 2 down the backstretch, but 3 and 4, Nichols was better than Weishart.
That's the thing we talk about this racetrack is you can't set the car for both corners. You have to sacrifice one or the other. So driving styles, I guess, would be the same way. That you're either really good in one corner and not so good in the other. You got to kind of try to come up with a balancing act to get the best out of both sides.
Well, this track is unique because it is a 1.3 mile egg-shaped oval, and how we got the egg shape. That pond over there in turn 4, when the track was being constructed, the owner at the time did not want that pond to be affected at all. Keep your track away from my pond, and that's why we have a different shape through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 is a little more off the brake and more full throttle through here. There's actually different degrees of banking as well. 25 through 1 and 2, and these guys going through 3 and 4, a tighter turn. 23 degrees through 3 and 4, and as we mentioned, that's where the egg shape comes from. So from the aerial view, that would be the top of the egg, and these drivers are now going on the bottom of the egg.
Yep, that is the minnow farm off in turn 4, or what is now turn 4. Back then, it would have been turn number 2.
Yeah, one of the more unique things about this racetrack is that the backstretch is now the front stretch, and the front stretch now the backstretch, and all the different types of configurations and renovations and different style of racing here at this track.
Yep, and if you ever go to this racetrack, do not sit in those people in the front there along the back. Don't sit there. Bad play. Unless you want to take rubber out of your clothes and your hair for weeks.
Well, those seats aren't even open anymore.
I know. I was there. Chicken bone. They called them chicken bone seats, but man, as fast as they were going by, it was pretty bad. I think it took me about a week to get all the rubber out of my hair.
Well, better off to just get a buzz cut then.
I had a buzz cut. I'm in the military. It still was bad. And he's doubling down, so now there's 2 mortgages on the 48.
Oh, that is not good.
Can I be the house? Let me hold that bet.
Of course you will. Actually, it seems like it would be James Scioli because he is still dominating here at Darlington. 6-car length lead over David Weishart. Really haven't seen much difference throughout this top 10. Kind of just single file spread out. Some close bumper-to-bumper action, but nothing too major.
Hopefully when the sun sets and the track cools off, and maybe we get some more rubber down here, the dynamic kicks in, you're starting to see a little bit thicker, it's getting a little bit of rubber laid down on the racetrack. And hopefully that'll open this up. We'll get a couple more lines running. Because right now, like I said, it's a conga line. You sucker right up along the outside edge. And, if you're not running against the wall, you're pretty much going to get past.
Yep, as it was in the Cup race yesterday. Very, very similar iRacing is to what the real deal is on Sundays. Even the shifting.
Yep. Well, it does make sense. iRacing was part of the partnership of getting this car developed, so.
So Scioli continuing to stretch out that lead now to almost a second over Weishart. Really starting to settle in with those tires as approached a lap car in front of him just down the road.
They were about halfway through what I believe is a tire run here. I think they're going to go 60 laps because of the way we had that early caution at 25-ish.
Yeah, these guys are now halfway through with their tire sets. But because of the back-to-back cautions from caution number 2 and caution number 3, really not much tire wear down, and possibly some drivers saving fuel under those runs, trying to stretch it out a little more.
So I would see these guys probably around 80 to 85 will be the next window. We're seeing the fall off right now. Best time for Scioli was a 29.389. He just ran a second slower at 30.349. So not as bad as a fall off as we saw. Where were it was like 2 seconds. Actually, I was looking at our. All my nights come mushed together, Hunter. So I was just looking. I had a broadcast at Kentucky, and there was a 3-second fall off in tires. So we might be looking at
say
that.
our pole time was a 29.2. These guys are now running 30.3s as we're looking. I'm looking through the leader, James Scioli. 30.3. Starting to see some 31-second times as well. So steep drop off from the fastest laps in practice and qualifying to the current race run that we got going on.
Looks like Scioli is starting to catch up on lap traffic. The first one in his sights will be Paul Irvin and Jay Perkins, the 48 and 49.
Well, that guy that doubled down on the 48 can't be sitting too pretty right now. Yeah, he's throwing in a shed and a lawnmower.
Yeah, it looks like Shane Wolf and Green coming down pit lane.
So he's throwing everything but the kitchen sink in that bet on the 48. It's actually they've disconnected.
And they've disconnected. Yeah, I saw that. They got down and disconnected. So it was like Perkins, Matthew Robinson, Sifford, Miglin, Slate, and Delaney Ballard. Or actually, he was at so on lap 52, about 7 laps ago. Miglin, Sifford, Robinson, and Jay Perkins all got up into the lady and got a stripe.
Yeah, that Darlington stripe
just adds to the flair.
Indeed, it does. They're actually closing in now on the battle for third. So Kresick, Nichols, and Nick Johnston, Alan Balancino is starting to creep up now as they're starting to become closer and closer with each other.
Mark Patterson now on pit lane.
Yeah, he's been in pit lane earlier in the race. That's how he got stuck 2 laps down. And yeah, pitting here at Darlington is tough. Not only do you lose a lap or two, but getting on the pit road is a challenge because of how steep the banking is over there, as we mentioned earlier. Turn 3 and 4 got 23 degrees of banking, and then the pit entrance is so far down.
Flat.
Wouldn't surprise me if we see a couple of guys spin out just trying to get onto pit road.
I think it's very similar to the way Dover was, except for there's a much larger apron, which I remember when I pitted here, we pit. Usually you go down, you keep low in 3, and you basically go down to the apron halfway through the turn and just carry it through. Don't really want to enter from 4. Doesn't work out real good, years.
No, you'll hit the tire barriers over there in the pit entry, and as we could see that tonight. The difference here, though, with Darlington is with Dover, the pit entrance, it's like right there, right below the apron. The apron here at Darlington, it's so wide. There's tons of room down there. You just see on the front stretch so many lanes of racing down there. I don't think you want to be as low, though.
Yeah, that double white, you see how wide this corner is, but below that double white, that dashed white line is no man's land.
Oh,
into
this guy's
the wall.
spin right in front of our leader, James Scioli, was one of the lap cars back onto the racetrack. I don't think a caution's come out for that yet.
Stripe for Scioli.
So we'll have to go back and look and see who that was. And
it was Adam Capps.
Capps in the 55. That's who we saw go into the inside wall. So he did not come back onto the racetrack, and it did not trigger a caution.
And he's now on pit lane. But as I
Yeah,
say,
that
those
might be-
white dashed lines pretty much marks the out of bounds. I mean, you could pass, but there's like no banking below the white dashed lines.
No. Very minimal. So there's only 2 degrees of banking on both the front and back stretch.
So about 15 laps before I see the main guys coming down here. That's my prediction.
So yeah, they're approaching lap 44 now on their current run, but we could see it stretch further than 65, 70, maybe 80 laps if they want to go the distance for fuel.
Right. This is for fuel 75, but I still think that's going to work out well for them because that would be 80 laps or so, but between 80 to 85, and that would leave 120, so then they pretty much 60, 60, 60 the way out. Keeps them good on them tires. And 84 Forrest Smith in front of the race leader now.
Yep, Skyly on the bumper of Forrest Smith. Number 84 trying to stay on the lead lap.
Fighting
That's got a lot
hard.
of 33 to close in. Actually, scratch that. He will just pull off to the side and let the 7 go.
It's hard
actually
here
coming
to give up a position here unless it's on one of the straightaways. Giving it in the corner can be very difficult if you have an ill-handling race car because you're going to need all the lanes to just operate.
So the gap now between the 33 and the 7 are 1.1 seconds. Decent gap back between O'Kresick, Jake Nichols, and Nick Johnston.
The top 6 within 4 seconds of the race leader, and we start getting into double digits at 10th spot.
Yeah, Daniel Miglin 11 seconds back from James Skyly, who's led the most laps up to this point, lap 70 of 200. Still 130 to go here in the Buttkicker Southern 500. There you go. Right here on the front stretch, there is Nick Johnston and Alan Balancino. We just saw up in front, pass for third. Jake Nichols now into the podium spot. Connor O'Kresick falling back to fourth. And we saw this last week at Kansas. The later we got into the run, the faster that 91 of Jake Nichols got.
Chris Seidenfaden on pit lane.
And so now they'll put the 48 of Paul Irvin as the last car on the lead lap. Running in the 27th spot. And it seems like we might be placing the wife's car in this bet with the 48. So it might be where our leader is at because he's got lap traffic all in front of him, and that's why the gap was down to 8 car lengths of a second. Oh, it's starting to go down again. Actually, there's a good bit back, so it could be the tires fading a little bit from that 7 of Skyly, the 33 of Weishart, closing the gap now. Although Skyly ran a faster lap last time than Weishart, the gap is slowly closing down.
This is where the driver's like, I could use some more rubber.
Yeah.
These tires are getting shot.
Oh. That was a good angle there. You saw 33 of Weishart had to swerve to avoid hitting that turn 2 wall.
48.
And Paul Irvin getting the little Darlington stripe there.
That is on the very right rear of the car. He said it wasn't even enough. Even and out.
And so now this is going to slow up to 7. It's going to allow 33 of Weinstein to close in. Look how much ground he made up just from that corner alone. So now it looks like the 48 will pull low. Try to let the 7 go. No, not quite.
Because here's some drivers talking about this car that normally you want to flood, you want to use maybe a little brake and come off the gas, but this car gets really, really, really loose with no forward bite. So if you come off of the gas too quickly or brake too hard, you'll lose the front end of the car, and that's what I think we saw a couple times with guys snapping. Was that effect, and it's because the transfer of weight shifting too quickly.
I was just about to say we are on lap 76, so it would be the start of some of these guys coming down pitting. They're on lap 54 now on their run, and it looks like Okrezik's had enough and coming down to get some fresh rubber.
And the front guy's still sitting out there. Cameron Hearn, because he came down and pitted under the last caution, has 7 laps fresher tires, I believe. We believe he took tires as he flat spotted the ones he had.
Yep. That's exactly why. And he's back in the top 10 like nothing ever happened.
Jordan Martin calling that he's pitting next lap, the number 11. He's a lap down already.
Oh, big hit there from the 48 of Paul Irvin. That right in front of second place driver David Weisworth, that could have ended bad.
It doesn't take too much for this car to get upset and slide right up into that corner. You know, it's either be a tight dump truck type position, like you see right here, where you're tight on entry, and then you have these guys coming loose off. You just see how the cars want the tails, they want a tail spin out off the corner, but you can watch him coming in. He's trying to dive all the way to that white dash line, and the back end of the car continues to drive up to the wall. That would be that tight condition.
I'll say you see it better in turn 4.
Turning the car with the long rectangular pedal. Or as DW said, the loud pedal.
Good old DW.
So here on lap number 80 being completed. So I think green pit stops are now open. Let's say between now and lap 90, we should finish those as long as we continue to stay green.
Yes, indeed. The window is open for these guys to come down. We already saw Kresick come down pit road. Dom DeLeo, Garrett Heath down pit road as well. And it looks like Matt Alverson's going to come down pit road. Jordan Martin has also pitted. Only tough part about pitting on the green, as we mentioned, not only again on the pit road, but you go 1 lap, 2 laps, sometimes maybe 3 laps down. And Balancino down pit road now as we speak.
Ooh, Paul Irvin hard under the wall off a 4.
Yeah, I just caught the glimpse of that as I was looking down here on my sheet. Down to the inside wall, still no yellow. And an update on the bet. He'll take that offer of the wife's car and throw in a copy of her favorite CD. Man, CDs are still a thing.
Does it come with or without the stroller?
Oh, I don't even want to know about that. Because it is not looking good for that 48 car if anyone is placing anything on that machine. It's actually Ryan Hart's now in the 3 has come down pit road. Just seems like one by one these guys are coming down to service their car. Got different strategies all across the board. Daniel Miglin now down pit road as well.
Jake Bell now on pit lane.
Ryan Swan as well. So more guys are coming down pit road. Just a matter of time before these leaders come down.
The leaders are now 62 laps. I think they can do about another 13. They did have maybe a little bit more than that since they had a few caution laps. But tires are what they're screaming for now, not fuel. They need Goodyear Eagles. Having to really let up to take the corners here so as not to slap that wall, make some damage. Hunter, these guys, they don't even have a fast repair, so whatever happens to their car, they got to be able to fix it on pit lane or they can get what they've got.
Yeah, what you see is what you get, and that's why we've had some drivers retire early, like only got 5 DNFs so far. Brad Slaughter, Michael Arch, Eli Green, James Shanewolf, and Adam Capps. Some disconnecting from driving down the pit lane and others disconnecting from the amount of damage that they received on their car. If they did have fast repairs, they'd all still be running.
Mm-hmm.
Jake Nichols has run down the 33 of Weissart. They're actually bumper to bumper now for second, and it's looking a lot like last week at Kansas where that 91 car just gets quicker and quicker on these longer runs.
Taking care of that equipment, getting the most out of each tire set that he has. And there Weissart lets him go around. I think David Weissart's going to be pitting this time. There he goes, Scioli with him.
Oh, he missed it.
Ooh.
Oh, that is costly. We got a spin on the front stretch. Ryan Swan. Oh, Scioli on the pit lane. Jake Nichols.
No caution.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, hold on to it, Ryan.
I'll say don't come on the track just yet. I'll say if a caution came out, that would have been perfect for David Weissart because he missed the pit entrance, but Scioli on the pit lane, Jake Nichols in the lead. Weissart, he tried to slow down. I was just going to say he looked a little too hot coming in that time by, but man, tough go for the 33 of
now Weissart on pit.
And now he's on pit road this time.
No, interesting. Jake Nichols going to take this a little longer. Maybe go towards, to where the fuel runs out, anticipating a caution possibly.
Yeah, might as well try and undercut the 7 and benefit from the 33 of Weissart, his misfortune of trying to get on the pit road. That was just an example of just how tough it is at getting on the pit lane, because you saw he trying to follow that yellow stripe down on the bottom, which kind of guides you to where that cone is, but he went to the outside of it. Now we see Jake Nichols looking to get around the lap car there. Actually, no, he's going to come in this time. There it is, much slower speed that time from the 91 of Jake Nichols. It almost looks like, because these guys are going down so low, and I think we just had a car do the same thing right behind. Try to slow down and get on the pit road, but couldn't quite do it. But it's so steep. The banking from 3 and 4 and then down to the pit entrance, it almost looks like that the cars are spinning out. But they're just going that low because that is where pit road is.
Jay Perkins just disconnected the number 49 machine. New leader Shane Williamson, who just he's coming down now. Cameron Hearn inherits the lead.
Yes, how about it? Cameron Hearn spins out, bringing out the second caution of the race, and got a few lap fresher tires than the leaders do because of that spin on the backstretch, flat spot of the tires. Had to come in and put on a new set of tires and working to his advantage. Somewhat. So there's Ryan Swan and Forrest Smith. They're having a little gathering there on the backstretch, and that is a different approach at entering pit road.
Well, that was that apron all the way around that I was talking about coming off a 3. And Cameron did it exactly the way I would pit here. don't work the banking, because that's what you got to get off the banking, and that's usually what's having an issue, and that's what Weishart blew the corner,
Ooh, I don't think he led that lap. I think Garrett Grant led that lap.
I believe Cameron actually had a lap led, though, so let's see here. Yep, got one. That's all it matters.
He got one from the previous.
We'll take the one. So Garrett Grant leading the way now, and he's going to try to stretch it out. I said between 75 and 80 laps. He's at 71 right now. Those tires have got to be screaming at him, please, please. Let us have new ones. It looked like Cameron Hearn came out just behind race leader of Grant. So we'll see how quick new tires versus old tires are here, as we see him gobbling up the distance between him and Robinson.
I'll say, so
Grant, I'm sorry.
When these front three cycle through, Connor O'Kresik's going to cycle out to be the leader because he was one of the first drivers to come on to pit road. So that's one of the advantages of pitting early. Getting that track position, and once Robinson and Grant come down and service their car, he will be race leader.
Hearn down at the bottom around the 5, gets his lap back the hard way. So only 30 cars on the racetrack moving around, and of them only 9 on the lead lap. So
Got that due to the 5 and the 34 staying out still.
The simulation copying what happened in real life on Sunday, the big one that took away half the field at Darlington this weekend.
Only thing we're missing is a dump and run.
Well, that might be at the end. We ain't there yet.
Yeah, we're almost halfway through. Boy, even though there's only 272 miles, it still feels like a long one here for Darlington. Races are always long, whether it's 272 miles, 400, or the traditional 500 miles that they run here on Labor Day weekend. And you see the 5 of Garrett Grant slow down the car, get it down pit entrance, so Robinson will retake the lead, and he'll get a bonus point. Leading a lap right there, and go ahead and dive right into our halfway rundown for the top 10 presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor Swift Lifestyles for clean supplements that can help improve your focus and gaming. Use the discount code on your screen, Area iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off any order. We'd like to give a big thanks to Swift Lifestyles and their continued support of Area iRacing. So as the leader, Matthew Robinson, comes down pit road, Connor O'Kresik will take over as the race leader. So he's just led his first lap of the night. Believe. There we go.
Just a little bit behind, yeah.
His first lap led of the night. He's at decent speed. He pitted early to try and get strategy, move up on the track. And right now he's got the lead, and it's currently working out so far. Driver right behind him, Jake Nichols. It's looking like what we saw last week at Kansas. The longer the run gets, the faster that number 91 car is. Saving the tires, saving the car, working his way through the field. He's currently second at the moment. This would be a pretty special win for him, the South Carolina native. Alan Balanchino's also had a pretty fast car. He's sitting in third right now, but, we still have over 90 laps left to go, and anything can happen. We saw it happen to our next driver, David Weishart, who's recovered quite nicely, if I might add, because I did not expect him to stay inside the top 5, and he's currently running fourth after that mishap of trying to get on the pit road, had to go another lap around. Typically that kills a driver's run, but it did not do that for the 33 of Weissart. He's continuing to show strong speed inside the top 5. As is Nick Johnson in the 28. The North Carolina native running in the 5th spot. He's had top 5 speed all night long. It's just a matter of drivers getting the other misfortune in front of him, like we saw 33 of Weissart do. Could happen to the other 3 drivers in front of those guys. So we'll see that as the run goes on, and we'll see the 53 of Shane Williamson. He's got a lap led. The Shepherdsville, Kentucky native. Still spotsless. Someone got something on that car because he is showing top 10 speed every week, just like the 67 of Cameron Hearn in the Gold Bandit CNC logging throwback scheme. He spun out, bringing out the second caution. He's probably sitting in a pretty good spot because he had to come in and pit from that spin, so he's got a little fresher tires than a good bit of the field right now. And the driver behind him, Daniel Miglin, currently having a solid run in the 8th spot. He's had top 10 speed all night long. Haven't talked too much about him all season, but and that Johnny Bravo number 4 is having a strong showing. Here's another driver we haven't talked about all night. Well, very briefly, mostly due to the throwback scheme, but Jacob Bell in that Buttkicker throwback scheme, running in the 9th spot. Solid run there for Jacob Bell Racing, and we'll see if he can crack the top 5 in the later stages of this race. And Garrett Heath running 10th in that Infinite throwback scheme. So Infinite Racing got pretty solid drivers running inside the top 10. And that was your top 10 rundown presented by Swift Lifestyles. Now we go to the battle for the lead as Jake Nichols on the bottom of Connor O'Kresick side by side going into turn 1. And it looks like it'll be the 91 of Jake Nichols taking the lead from O'Kresick. The fresher tires on that 91, just too much for the 14 of Connor O'Kresick. There is a difference of 16 laps between those two. And Jake Nichols with the better tires taking the lead and driving away with it like he stole it. I do apologize if you can hear a loud dog barking in the background down my street. I don't know why it's out this late at night, but it is just going crazy, almost like Jacob Bell's dog a couple weeks ago from Auto Club, although that was in his house. This one's outside, but it is still quite loud. So apologize if you guys can hear that in the back. So we got the Gopher cam here in turn 1. And now the backstretch cam. You can just see how close those guys get to the wall. Could even see some side-by-side action. Briefly. So we're looking through here. Jay Perkins has disconnected from the race. Mark Patterson, I believe, is still on the racetrack, even though he is 39 laps down in the 32nd spot. We're looking through, got 14 drivers on the lead lap, with Matt Alverson being the first driver 1 lap down. James Scioli, our leader at one point that came down pit road, stuck a lap.
Sliding across. That's Heath.
That's Garrett Heath. Right on the front stretch. That could bring out a caution, but it did not. Boy, second time we've seen a spin on the front stretch. Earlier we saw Ryan Swan take a spin in the number 1, and it did not bring out a caution. This time it was a little more closer to the outside wall, but nonetheless, it still did not bring out a caution. But just looking through here, the 7 of Scioli is stuck a lap down. Not really sure what the case is there. You know what? Minute 29 when he came down pit road. So probably
spent 60 seconds in his box.
Yeah, might have been serving some repairs for that number 7. But he pitted from the lead, so it's a head scratcher there. It's a shame that he was having a solid run, but now he's stuck one lap down. And even if a yellow were to have come out just then, he would have to take a wave around to get that lap back. It's actually Dom DeLeo. It's the first driver one lap down, running in the 10th spot. Actually, the last driver on the lead lap, running in the 10th spot. First driver a lap down, Randy Bechtel, running 11th. Take a look at our one-to-go replay now. I'm trying to look back at the 7 of James Scully when he came down pit road to service his race car. Remember, it was a minute 29 for that 7 car when he came down and serviced the Buttkicker machine.
He's in his pit box, and it's pit box 1, so I wouldn't see a big an issue getting off. So he's getting a 4-tire change here. Huh. I wonder if he had something going on in real life that he had to stop for a little longer, because there's nothing that I can see being done on that car.
Yeah, as I say, it didn't look like he had that much damage, so once again, that's a head scratcher on the 7 of Skyly, but see if he can get back on the lead lap and try and piece together a solid finish.
Rafe Slate has now terminated his run.
Yep, so one by one, they are starting to fall here in Darlington, South Carolina.
Just wondering if anybody's going to just abandon their car in pit lane.
We saw that yesterday with Kyle Busch.
I'm done. You don't want me driving through the garage fast? I'll just stop here.
So now Dom DeLeo has gone a lap down. Daniel Miglin in the 4 car, sitting in the 9th spot, the last driver on the lead lap.
So we saw Nichols stretch it to the 70s, where everybody else was around 60. If he does that again, it'll be right around 160 for Jake Nichols. Connor O'Kresick in the group with them. That's be about lap 140, 145. Trying to do my best imitation of Larry Mack here. Let me pull up my yearbook. Wait, this is the first time we're here, so I have no yearbook.
No, you need to bring up. Oh, we got a spin. Car on the inside wall back there. Couldn't quite get a glimpse of what that was. That Garrett Grant in the 5. Boy, this is about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen a car spin to the inside wall, and no caution come out for it.
It's definitely turn 4 being a culprit tonight, but like you said, not really bringing out the caution. So race control letting boys have at it. So yeah, 4's got no hood.
Yeah, turn 4 and turn 2 being the issue, and yeah, I am realizing that there's no hood on the 4. You think Johnny Bravo ripped it off so he can keep it in his room?
Maybe.
Or
he liked it.
Keep it in. We'll keep it as a memento.
Thank you very much.
Probably like, oh, look good in a mama.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably one of my favorite cartoons growing up as a kid on the Cartoon Network, Johnny Bravo.
It's funny, there was a guy that I went to my advanced individual training with to be an air traffic controller. We called him Johnny Bravo. Looked dead up like him, and he was always talking to the girls.
Just like Johnny did in the cartoon.
Yep.
So now that driver, or that car just in front of Jake Nichols, Jacob Bell, now he is the last car on the lead lap trying to keep that 91 at bay for as long as he could. Less than 80 to go here in the Buttkicker Southern 500.
So, Hunter, while we're waiting, have this lull in the action. Next week is an interesting week. It is All-Star Week, only one race.
Yep, only one race, and that is Tuesday night. So every series, the Cup Series, the Lodge Box Series, and the CNC Logging Truck Series, they will be having the week off in order to prep for the All-Star race, which will be at Atlanta. I believe it'll be run in the ARCA cars.
In the ARCA cars. We're bringing them back, man. We're going way back to season 1.
Which was just one season ago.
We're going way back to season 1.
Yep, and keep an eye on the socials at Area iRacing on Twitter and on our website at areairacing.com for updates on the All-Star race and the stage lengths and which drivers will be in it.
And then we have 1 week of racing, and then we have Memorial Week off. So, and then we're gonna go flush to the end, if I remember right. Well, no, we'll have the 4th of July weekend off. The caution is now out.
Oh, there we go.
And looks like, if I can find it here, looks like we have Dominic DeLeo, Hearn, Connor O'Kresick. So a lot of people involved in this one, so let's try to grab a hold of it.
Yep, we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at how this caution came out. It's the 4th one of the night. Had 4 cautions in last week's race at Kansas. So like right here, everything is all good as they are working down the backstretch and into 3 and 4, and it looks like it might be where that side-by-side battle.
Right there at 48 of Irvin and Scioli. So Scioli definitely in the wrong place at the wrong time. If you look right in front of Scioli, you're going to see Paul Irvin getting into that wall. So keep an eye on here on the 48. See the 7. 7 looks for the time to go low, and the 48 keeps going further and further down the track. And they make contact. So Scioli was looking to make the pass on the low side, and the 48 coming down the track there. We'll see what they say about it, but that was definitely from my perspective. What did you see there, Mr. Hunter?
It did look like the 48 came down on Scioli, but I'm trying to see where you said Hearn was in. It looked like he was involved in this as well. I'm trying to see where he comes into the equation in this. Oh. I think it was Balancino that went down below.
I'm showing, actually, it was Irvin, Scioli, and O'Kresick. Hearn was coming out of pit lane at the time.
Ah, okay. All right, well, it looks like that was the cause for our 4th caution of the race. They're on lap 126 as Jake Nichols wins the race off pit road by a landslide over Alan Balancino. Jacob Bell coming out P3. Oh, P2. Look, might have gotten some strategy there. Could it have been 2 tires, or is it just 4?
I'm showing Balancino beat him Bell off, but...
Oh, I think Connor O'Kresick has disconnected.
Jacob Bell did not pit.
Oh, he didn't pit?
He is going to pit now.
Wow.
There he
That
goes.
is rare. We might have actually missed this pit stall.
It's possible.
So Balancino did come out second, and it looks like third will be David Weishart, then Nick Johnston, Shane Williamson will be your top 5, but Jacob Bell back down pit road after apparently missing his pit box, and Connor O'Kresick done for the night.
Yeah, Scioli and Kresick out.
On these last 70 laps of the Buttkicker Southern 500, brought to you by CNC Logging. We would like to thank CNC Logging for their support of the CNC Logging Truck Series this season in the area. Located in Boiling Springs, South Carolina, CNC Logging is your place to go for any of your logging needs. Got wood? Big or small, summer or fall, we'll cut your log, guaranteed. CNC Logging.
Garrett Grant has a meatball right now.
Oh, the meatballs are out.
So, in Seidenfaden, Paul Irvin, Mark Patterson is what I'm showing as the, that's the meatball or the black flag with the big orange spot in the middle of it. And Matt Alverson, I think he's already out, is showing a black flag. Matt Alverson.
Oh, is that? Yeah, Weisehart's back down pit road. Think he's going to line up. Yeah. So that's an interesting move there from Weishart, because all those guys that are taking the wave around, he might be able to come out in front of them.
So Weishart is getting fuel and tires, I believe, because he's going to try to go the distance.
Yeah, it looks like he is gearing up for that finish. Oh, but oh man, we're gonna have some lap cars in the middle of this, so it's gonna get a little chaotic here, folks, on this restart.
I think everybody can make it to the end where they are now, but he just made sure of it. But we have Bechtel, DeLeo, Hart, Swan, and Martin all taking the wave around to get back on the lead lap, so they did not pit.
Yeah, and they're still trying to get caught up to this pack as the pace car's down pit road. Jake Nichols going to restart on the bottom, Balancino on the outside.
That could be dangerous because these guys are becoming with a full head of steam.
So we go. Green flag back out.
Oh, into the wall.
Car in the wall. That is Miglin.
I mean, Johnny Bravo.
Saw that.
I saw his hair move.
Yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away.
You know,
major. We might have to go back. Might have to go to the back there. There is a major gap now. Yep. He's stacking everything up with the 81 of Dwayne Culberson in there as well. These front four have driven away, but back behind them it is chaos.
Trying to get around that four, but if you watch the cartoon, you know Johnny's hair never moved.
Yeah, oh, that was sideways from the 81 of Culberson. He got really sideways there coming out of turn two. They're still checking up behind him.
Well, Miglin driving pretty darn quick for having no hood.
Oh, man, they are still loose coming off of the exits. Wow.
The 81's got fresh tires, so not sure why he's not able to just pass him. Well, Miglin does too. Miglin did take tires, so the 28.
Oh, that was Nick Johnston. He was running in. He was battling for second, and now he's down on the inside wall. So no caution there.
Big damage on 28. Green.
Yeah, big damage for the 28 of Johnston. So after that, it's Balancino holding on to second, and 7 car lengths in front of him is race leader Jake Nichols. Boy, all sorts of chaos going on here.
And Matt Alverson had his black flag cleared, so it may have been issued by race control, and they took care of that for him. But he's still pretty well down there. Matt Alverson in the 14th spot, a lap down. And race control did call that last caution on the 7 of James Scioli for contact.
So looking here, we got all the drivers that have disconnected for the night. So it looks like it is Brad Slaughter, Michael Arch, Eli Green, James Shane Wolf, Adam Capps, Mark Patterson, Jay Perkins, Rafe Slate, Chris Seinfein. Believe the 5 of Gary Grant is disconnected as well. James Skyley and Connor O'Kresick.
Showing on my score that Grant and Patterson are still in the sim, but they're in their pits. Patterson's been there for 34 minutes and Grant for 10.
Tyler Nichols also in his pit for 9.5 minutes.
But he's back on track.
He is on track. Okay.
Yeah. He's back on track. But yeah, 9.5 minutes was his last pit stop for Tyler Nichols. Probably a lot of damage on that car. It looks like the guy who found the most of the wall and everything else was Rafe Slate. 22 incident points tonight.
Yeah, that is a lot. I think that was the 81 that Jake Nichols just passed. Could be mistaken. He was running right there, 5th in line. So he might have spun out or gotten into the wall. He might have actually pitted. Dwayne Culberson in the 81.
It was 9 laps ago. That's a pit like everybody else. So, yeah, something had to happen to him to have him lose that speed like that. Yeah, his last lap was shown 53 seconds.
Yep, so it might have been in that last lap where he might have gotten a little loose. Might have spun the car out a little bit. But it's still going, and no caution came out for that. Still 60 laps to go here. As now you just see, he's actually scraping the wall back there.
So 11 cars on the lead lap. The number 11, the last one on the lead lap.
Yeah, everyone else behind Jordan Martin, 1 lap down.
And just 60 to go here.
In it for the long haul. Boy, Nichols is on cruise control. 3.3 seconds between he and Alan Balancino. Oh, you already know what he can do on the longer run. Kind of go back to third between Williamson and Weinstein. That's where the closest battle is on the track. Between the 53 and the 33, and they're right in the middle of lap traffic. It's actually, that is the 4 of Nigland still in front of them. With the 53, there's Shane Williamson. Actually, there's a lap car in between the two. That is Matt Alverson. Oh, and Williamson in the wall. There they go, contact.
Oh, man. Wall
Still
glue.
making contact into the wall. The 53 of Williamson, that could have been a caution right there.
No caution.
Weisgard and Alverson getting a piece of that, but no yellow.
Ouch. Jacob Bell getting up behind Randy Bechtel here for the 6th spot.
Yep, the 77 running in 7th, trying to take 6th from the 36. And right behind him, Nick Johnston still going, running in the 8th spot. And right behind him, Ryan Swan having a solid run in the 9th spot after spinning out on the front stretch during the green flag. And Bechtel's going to lose 2 spots here, looks like. Johnston on the outside trying to get the run. Still door to door, but I think Bechtel might give it up here so they can make the corner, and it looks like that's what happened. Whoa. There's a close-up right there on the 64 car. That is Ed
Caution.
Robertson. Whoa, wreck right in front of them. That's Cameron Hearn, Justin Wilson.
It was Justin
There's these
Wilson,
guys
yeah.
that are slowing down in the back, trying to avoid this. So we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at what brought out this caution.
Wilson tucking the wall there off of 4.
Williamson is on pit road. I was just about to say, how much damage does that 53 of Williamson have? Because we saw he got in that wall a ton, and he was just, like you said, wall glue. He was just stuck in the wall right there. So it might have been with the 53. So we'll see right here. It's in front of them.
Oh, somebody's already
Like that's
slid.
Hearn.
Oh, it's Hearn. Ooh.
Yeah.
And that
then
hurt.
nowhere to go for Justin Wilson.
That hurt because Hearn slid up 4.
Yeah, it looks like he was battling with someone and then just got loose in the middle of the turn and then slid back up. There we see right there. I believe that's Alverson just in front of him, but they didn't get close enough. They didn't get close
Matt
enough to making
Alverson.
contact.
Oh,
He's checking.
look, watch Cameron's car.
Is it the net code?
Yep.
I'll say it looked like he was checking up for Alverson getting into the wall, but there's so much. There's such a big gap there between the two.
If you can see it right here, we're gonna see he's in the wall. Alverson is, and watch this happen here. So see where Cameron's car is lined up right now. It's how it's tracking, and now it's like it hit something.
It hit a bubble.
Yeah, it hit and it was sent. And what's bad
kind of
about
like what we saw earlier on with him, he spun down low and then just the car came back up.
And then he's going to get hit, and that's going to pretty much end his night. Because right here he's okay until this car comes from behind here.
Yep. Weishart nearly getting a piece of that, and it's right in the racing lane there, just nowhere for him to go, really.
And that pretty much ends both Wilson and Cameron's night right there.
Yeah, that was a tough way to end your night if you're either one of those guys. So these guys did come down pit road. Nichols.
Everybody, the leaders, Miglin stays out in that 4. And I'm wondering if Race Control is going to say anything about that because he was the jam car the last time. But
we will wait to see that.
They called it like we saw it, said it was net code on lap 142. But strategy out the window. Everybody can go 50 laps.
Yeah, and they might have another set of tires too in case we get another caution. Boy, we'll have to see if anyone has anything for that 91 of Jake Nichols. We already know, as we mentioned, how good that car is on the long run, and even on the short run, it's got that speed. So looking here for how they'll gear up for the restart. Boy, gotta be happy if you're JBR trying to close in on Solar Flare Racing for the team points. You got Ryan Hartz, Jacob Bell, and Ryan Swan running 3rd, 4th, and 5th there for JBR. And a reminder for how the team standings work. So the highest 2 drivers in the team will get points for the team standings. So right now the highest would be JBR coming out of this race. Because Solar Flare Racing, you got Jake Nichols leading, but you got to go find where the other teammates are. It's not Tyler Nichols. Dwayne Culberson is down in 19th. So then you got to go find the 89 of Tyler Sifford running in 12th. So not only the drivers of JBR, but the team of Jacob Bell Racing looking to collect big points here from Darlington. We're coming towards 50 laps to go. Jake Nichols going to restart the race on the bottom as the pace car pulls down pit road. Alan Balancino going to try and time it right on the outside. There you see the Coca-Cola cars right behind him. Boy, Jacob Bell did not get a good restart at all. Luckily, he's going to fall in line right there. And actually, you know what? JBR is running 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I just realized that. Jordan Martin in the 11th. Oh, as soon as I see that, Ryan Swan Bell, to the inside wall.
Swan and Bell, yeah. And Bell was there, too.
Well.
Weishart back to 7th now.
Jake. Ryan.
Martin now 3 and 4.
I am sorry. I am sorry.
Yeah, but the 3 and 11, they're still up there.
Yeah, they are. They are still up there. Still running 3rd and 4th, but as soon as I said that, they're all running right next to each other, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then Oh, man. Commentator's curse is real, folks. But yeah, there is a big gap now between third and fourth. 1 second between Hartz and Jordan Martin, with Randy Bechtel right behind. Do you know what? Right behind Bechtel. Go back to where Bechtel is. Is that Cameron Hearn still on the track? I see the Skull Bandit logo.
Sure is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
he had no hood though from when Martin, and now we have a caution, back out. Yep. That's
Might have been
Gary
Jacob Bell.
Lewis and Nick Johnston.
Oh, Nick
Jake
Johnston,
Bell too,
okay.
yeah. We'll see. Let's see who stacks this up here. Replay.
Oh yeah, you can already see the. Well, that was behind Jacob Bell, but he was in the wall. But we'll go ahead and take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at what brought out this caution, which, once again...
Whoa, ow.
Oh.
Jake Bell into the wall, into the wall, into the wall. And, ooh. And then he touches, that was Nick Johnston, but it's definitely the 77. And then, ooh, coming out of left field there was like Gary Lewis, the 150. So
I'm going to say this one more time. Jacob Bell and Ryan Swan, I am sorry for ruining both of your nights. I take responsibility for that.
77, end of the line. Justin Wilson now disconnected. But
So these
Hartz
guys
and Martin are still third and fourth, though. Looking pretty good.
See, these guys still have a set of tires that they could come in and use if they want, and they have their teammates Johnston and Heath going to come down pit road. I think Jake Nichols is going to come down pit road as well. He might. Could be strategy for the rest of the field.
Head fake. Watch, head fake.
Yeah.
It's going to be a head fake. He ain't going to be down.
Nope. Oh, not even.
Nope. Too soon. 7 laps. Still a lot of good on them tires. Now, if it had been up in the 20s and they still had a set, they'd have been coming down to get them.
So 8 cars on the lead lap currently. About to be 9.
And it's Cameron Hearn getting the lap around.
Wait, was that Cameron Hearn?
Yeah, it was Cameron Hearn.
Okay, that's interesting.
Why was that interesting?
I was just looking at the interval because his interval is different because it's saying that he's like a second back from the 1.
I'm showing him right now. Yeah, basically about that. 1 second behind the 1.
Yeah, but didn't he just go around the pace car?
I thought so.
It
Cameron
would've
Hearn's
been-
on pit lane right now, though. But he was a lap down. So
Okay, that's interesting. I was gonna say if it would have been larger, the gap between him and Swan. I don't know. This has been a long race. It is hurting my brain.
It's approaching 11 o'clock, and we still got a lot of racing to go.
Yeah, this is one of the longer races that we do. Is it too late to raise my bet again? Stop. I'm gonna have to ask you to stop. Quit throwing everything at it.
Paul's still there. He did come back out on the racetrack. He's 26 laps down, but he's out there.
That's all you need to know. He is 26 laps down.
And I believe Swervin Irvin was saying that, as well as Cameron Hearn, they listen to the broadcast while they're driving. Just public service announcement. Don't do that. Drive the car.
Well, they can multitask. They can listen to it. Just don't watch it.
Sometimes some of these guys are watching.
That is a different skill set to have.
So Cameron Hearn showing 10th on the leaderboard right now. Guys have been having an issue so far tonight. Jordan Martin, 16 incident points. Daniel Miglin, 14. Garrett Heath, 18. 26 for Matt Elverson. And as a reminder, incident points can be issued for leaving the track surface, slight contact with the wall, or losing control of the car. And the beautiful 4X for basically causing another person contact to the point that it'll make them spin. And it's given to both drivers, not just the one who started the contact. That's like no fault insurance, man. Both drivers get it.
Okay, so we'll have another restart here. Once again, it is Jake Nichols restarting from the bottom, and then Alan Balancino on the outside. Then you got teammates sharing the second row. Ryan Hart's on the bottom and Jordan Martin on the outside. Then you got Bechtel, Weishart, Swan, Miglin, Heath, and Hearn rounding out the top 10. Pace car is down pit road. The 91 can go whenever he wants to. And we'll see the green flag fly once more from the lady in black.
Wow, Weishart with a bold move down
Caution
low.
back out?
Looks like it is, yeah. Delonte Ballard is what I'm seeing. So I think these guys don't know it's out.
I think it's still green.
Oh, I'm still in the replay. That's my fault. Sorry. So the caution is out, but I was behind. So I apologize. So that happens we keep going all these replays. But it was Delonte Ballard. So let's try to get a replay of the actual event since we were there. So
we were in an alternate reality for a moment.
There you go. Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. Forrest Smith. And then it was that down low there. That was the 8 and the 34. Ouch.
Whoa, what on earth happened here? We need to back it up a little more to see how all this happened. There were just cars all over the place.
Like
it happened way up the road there.
Yeah. Like I saw the 8 involved in that original. Oh, who's that up the track? That's the 1 of Mr. Swan.
Ryan Swan.
And Miglin.
Yeah, he looked like Swan just got loose right there. Oh, that car has been loose. Trying to hold on to it.
And then
couldn't quite do it. Hits the 4, then the 8. Then just carries down. 34 Robinson
sliding.
Getting clipped.
Wow. All right, now I'm going to make sure back to live. And this the replay. We're going to do that again.
Man.
Whew.
That would explain why the interval between Swan and Hearn on the caution looked a little wonky.
That's right, because I was off. We were, like you said, we was in alternate reality. We're good now. I'm showing live.
Well, so, you know what they do say.
Number 1 for his great example of a swan dive.
Yeah. Let's say, you know what they do say. Cautions breed cautions.
Yep. But
the laps continue to drag on here.
As we still have 60 or 41 to go. So we get to about 38, I believe.
$38 when we go back green, possibly. Could be a little more, could be a little less. But Ryan Hart's up to second. That is an interesting move because we know how fast that 3 car has been, not only in the Cup Series, but in the CNC Log and Truck Series and in the Launch Box Series.
Turning out to be just like we saw Sunday, the race of attrition. Almost half the drivers having some major issues. Only 13 cars in a lead lap. I think, was it Sunday's race was like, I wanted to say that was 17 maybe.
There were a lot.
It
was about half the field.
Byron, I think he went from 1st to 13th in less than a lap. So Doesn't take much.
Yeah, it does not take much at all. So the lights are out on the pace car. It looks like the 91 will restart on the bottom. But if there's anyone that can go up against him for the win, I would have to say it would be the 3 of Ryan Hart's. Well, let's see if he can time it right. It's just the timing that really just offsets everything, whether it's on the top or the bottom, the car behind or the car on the outside. Really haven't had that strong restart from anyone behind the leader or next to him, whether it's on the inside or outside. So we'll have to see it here. When they come across the stripe, it looks like it will be 38 to go. Actually, 39.
39, yep.
If there's anyone that can steal this win, it's the 48. Absolutely not.
If everybody else detonates between now and the finish.
Yeah, that would be the case.
And I mean, everybody would have to detonate. He's 26 laps down.
Oh,
So,
a little wonky there as we come back green. Side by side between Weishart and Jordan Martin for that 4th spot. That's where we saw the 33 get a little wiggly there. These guys start to settle in. So don't want to look too far back. Actually, we need to. There was a spin. That is not what I was going to talk about,
Ed
but
Robertson.
there was a car that spun. Yep, Ed Robertson there to the inside wall.
Got milk. Mr. Muffin Man, you got some milk for your muffin.
It's actually, I was going to touch up on, it was Cameron Hearn and Garrett Heath. They have fresher tires than our top 5. Want to see if they can... Oh, caution's out.
Ed Robertson, Dom DeLeo is what I'm seeing here.
Boy, towards the end of this one, it's starting to become a caution fest. As we'll take a look at our one-to-go replay and look at what they did.
And it's like, was that a pirouette?
I'm not too sure.
Let me try that again. I don't know how many times a pirouette is, but it looked like it was close.
But that did not bring out the caution, so I'm interested in seeing what did. So this was the 64 of Ed Robertson just getting loose and spinning down to the inside wall. Strange one that was.
Yeah, it did not bring out the caution. Let's see with Dom DeLeo. I was the only other person I saw here. Well, I guess I'll look to where the caution is and when it comes out, because like you said, it's not here either. Well, there he is. Yep, that's it right there. That's the caution. Oh! That's the caution.
Wow. Yeah, that that was the caution.
We're like, okay, that's the caution. Nope. This would be the caution. That's the 64 of Ed Robertson.
Can't tell if that's Dom driving or if it's Ricky Bobby.
So here we go. We got the 64 because it's still green at this point.
Yeah, it was still green flag, so not really sure what the 22 was thinking there, but nonetheless, it brought out another caution.
Wow. And taking out Ed Robertson at that point. And now we're down to 35 to go. 22 is given that credit for that one. 14 cars now in the lead lap with Jake Bell being the last one. Cameron Hearn quoting Ricky Bobby in the driver chat. Help me Oprah Winfrey, help me Tom Cruise.
It's actually Ed Robertson just put in our chat. Nowhere for me to go when I'm at speed and a car pulled up on track. Slowly but surely, the drivers will dwindle until only the champion 48 is left.
I think that's what NASCAR
Not
was
losing
doing.
hope.
When, when it was Jimmy, like that's what it seemed like, wouldn't it? We keep throwing these yellow flags until the 48's the first car up front. And Ed, we saw that as well. That it looked like it was green when the 22 came up the track. So, not sure why the 77 was issued a penalty for that. Showing the 77 receiving an EOL. Might have been a missed thing.
Not sure there, but one thing I am sure is that the 91 Jake Nichols will restart on the bottom, and Ryan Hart will restart on the outside.
All right, so 23 to go.
So once again, Cameron Hearn and Garrett Heath have fresher tires than our leader, Jake Nichols, by 7 laps for Garrett Heath, excuse me, and then Cameron Hearn 8 laps. So we'll see with these cautions coming out if it's really going to affect that battle. We could see those two drive up through the top 5, or we might see the 91 pull away with it.
Ed said that 77 of Jake Bell is requesting the EOL because he's down on power. So kind of taking.
We can see right there just how slow he is from that restart. Wanted to get out of the way of everyone and make sure that wasn't hindering anyone's path. Jake Nichols holding on to the lead now as they're coming towards 30 to go. Ryan Hart's following in second. Wise are trying to get the 30s, actually 67 of Hearn.
Paul Urban looking to get 2 positions. Just got past Wilson. Looking to get past Shane Williamson, who's 1 lap ahead of him right now and who's disconnected. Not sure if he can get to Gary Lewis, but he might get all the way to 21st, Paul Urban. The light he's at is pretty good. There is a first in there, it's just not the first.
Yeah.
It has a 20 in front of it. So maybe that's what Anonymous Duck is thinking. It has a 1 in the number.
But Weishart kept that 67 of Hearn right behind, and Hearn's lost half a second to that 33 car. Even with the better tires.
Wonder what kind of power the 67 has, because I saw his hood come off in one of those, but they were able to get it back on. But he can't be. You know, he's had that damage. He's been hit so hard. Now, in twice the time in the car wreck that he was involved in. So I'm not sure if that car is under full power.
It's just the true power that CNC logging brings on and off the track.
So Jake Nichols, though, definitely showing that he's got the power. Yeah, Cameron
Reinhardt within half a second of our leader, Jake Nichols, trying to keep him within reach, but with how strong that 91 car has been all night long, I'm not sure if that 3 will be able to do it. He did close the 10th there that time through 1 and 2.
So Cameron Hearn, like 0.6 off the leader's pace right now.
Oh, and now the 67 right behind Weishart. So he reeled him back in. Yeah, with the night that Hearn has had, he's been wheeling that thing. Trying to get a good finish out of it for Elite Entertainment. Back up front, Ryan Hart's 3 car lengths back from the 91 of Jake Nichols. Boy, he's trying to get everything he's got to get around that 91.
Just trying to have his presence known back there in the second spot.
Yeah, well, we know how the 91 can be with conserving the car and keeping the tires as fresh as possible. Is the 3 of Hearts using up his stuff a little bit too early? All right, we just saw there the 91 of Nichols start to pull from the 3 of Hearts just then. They approach the lap car there. It's Gary Lewis going to pull down to the inside. Meanwhile, in the midst of all this close racing going on throughout the field, Alan Balancino all by himself in third. It's about a second and a half behind Hartz, and then he's got almost 2 seconds between him and fourth place David Weishart, trying to hold on to it from Cameron Hearn right behind as we move back here with Jordan Martin and company. Zaffor car still running inside the top 10. Daniel Miglin.
Doing pretty good for having parts of it missing.
And here's Nick Johnston trying to peek your nose down to the inside of Jordan Martin for the 7th spot. Oh, going to be close to making contact. It's tight in there. That run should help the 11 down the straightaway, but the 28 going to sidestep. Oh, he's going to turn him down the straightaway into turn 1. Back in front of the field. Caution's back out. Well then, that escalated quickly. We'll take a look at our 1 to go replay and look at this as it was just tight racing here. I think he tried to get in line and just clipped him.
Oh, well, he came up the track.
And, there, clipping that car.
So Jordan Martin is holding this line. You kind of watch those black lines. And you see right here. So the 11 has the top line, the 28 the middle groove, and you watch him that coming up the racetrack. So the 11 is straight. They see the 28 slowly coming up until there's contact. Right there. And around he goes.
Well, now we got the leaders coming down pit road. Ryan Swan going to stay out. An interesting call here. A late yellow here at Darlington. Got 20 laps to go. The 1 of Ryan Swan, the 11 of Jordan Martin, who went around staying out. Forrest Smith also staying out as well. Going to see if anyone can take 2 tires and maybe try and come out in front of the 91 of Jake Nichols here as they exit pit lane.
Nick Johnson down on pit lane for tires and fuel. He will be getting the EOL here.
Yep, there's no doubt about that.
Under
So
20.
Nichols, Weishart, Balancino, Hearn, and Hartz out of pit road with Heath and Bechtel behind as well. Miglin in there. But the front 3 stay out. Well, Martin's going to come down pit road. He got damage from that wreck. So it'll be Ryan Swan going to restart as the leader, and Forrest Smith staying out. Looking like he'll restart second.
Matt Elverson up to 36 incident points.
Oh, that is a lot. And he's running 12th.
So more cars on pit lane for extended. Dominic DeLeo, Ed Robertson, Matthew Robinson, as well as Garrett Grant, showing still connected, but in pit getting extensive work done.
Boy, I don't even know how this is going to turn out. I mean, Forrest Smith is missing the front of his car.
Mm-hmm.
Man, with the night Ryan Swann has had, I mean, he'll take it. Do anything you can, switch it up strategy-wise, try and stay up. But the significant amount of laps in the tires will be something to watch out for. 23 for Swann, and then third on back will be on their first. Even Forrest Smith, too, but he's got a good bit of damage as well.
We've just officially passed the 2-hour mark for our race.
Oh, and there went the 79 of Nichols, getting the wave around. Tyler Nichols, that is. And then the one of Swann will take the outside, leaving Forrest Smith with the bottom. So if you're... Gotta say, if you're David Weishart, you're sitting pretty good right now.
That was to block Nichols with the slow car of Forrest Smith. Good call by Mr. Swann. But you're not going to hold him up that long. It'll help you for a couple laps.
Yeah, but not only that, presuming the 84 does not get a good launch, and with the damage he's got, that's going to allow the 33, maybe even the 67 to get a bit of a run on the outside. But who knows? We'll see in this restart. Pace car is going to pull down and in. Sharp left turn. There we go. Swann on the outside, going to restart the race with Forrest Smith on the bottom. He goes right away, and man, oh man, that is tough for Jake Nichols in the 91.
Because he can't change lanes. Now he can. And sure
there
does.
we go. Ooh! Close to making contact there as Weishart dives beneath the one of Swann and into the lead. Hearn now looking to the inside of Ryan Swann as well. It's going to be tight there in turn two. Nichols in the wall. Valentino in the wall as well. He's going to spin out.
Caution.
Man, tough break there for the 91 of Jake Nichols. The 1 and 84 staying out. And then Swann choosing to restart from the outside, which is what led to him being stuck on the bottom behind the 84. And you saw right there, him and Valentino got into the outside wall in turn two. So just tight racing. And right here, it just carries both of them into the wall, and the 70 spins out below him.
And that brings out the caution.
Yep, that was another yellow that came out, and Weishart got the lead from that move that the one of Swann made. Chose to get the top. The 84 did not get rolling, and the top got a big enough run to where the 33 could pull down and make a move. And that's exactly what happened. Hey, don't look too far back as Cameron Hearn's sitting there in third with the night he's had, the speed he's got underneath that 67. At one point, I think, Harold, you said that he was out of the race. But he came back.
I thought he would have. I thought for sure he was out of this race.
Hey, he is still in it. And with the tough luck he's had all year in area and in this race alone, it wouldn't surprise me if we could see that dump and run.
Yeah, well, Jake Nichols into the wall, but not a lot of damage on that race car. It showed it as a 2X for him.
No, it was a heavy smack, though.
So we'll see how much damage that did to the car. If he still got the speed, you can't count him out. He's in the 6th spot. And he's right, and he'll be on the high line where he won't be stuck like he was. So that's one of these things that I think race control is going to have to take a look at, is guys that are underpowered taking.
It's actually, I think that's Nichols coming down pit road. Nope. Could be wrong. Someone came.
Yes, Jake
Yeah, that
Nichols is
wasn't.
down pit road. Yep. Maybe tires and a little bit of repair work done. Thinking it'll be another caution.
I mean, I won't blame him for coming down pit road. As we said earlier, cautions breed caution, and it seems like the later laps of this race, that's what we're seeing. This is sort of opposite of what we're seeing from the Cup side of things, because typically we get early yellows and then long green flag runs to the end. And we're sort of seeing the opposite of that.
Like Jake Nichols is electing to get some work done on the car. 21 seconds, 22 seconds. Putting him, he'll be the last car on the lead lap in the 15th position.
Looking through now at the running order and looking at it from a team standpoint, it would still be Jacob Bell Racing coming home with the most points, as they got a driver running in second and a driver running in fourth for the moment. Although that could change with still 15 laps to go, now 14 when they cross the stripe. And then another team you got to look at that really hasn't had too much of a good season from a team standpoint, but would benefit here. So they got drivers running in fifth and sixth. That is Garrett Heath and Daniel Miglin of Infinite Gaming. Boy, what a run that would be if both of those guys could get high finishing positions, such as the top 5 and 10, maybe both inside the top 5.
That's interesting. They gave that to the 91 as an EOL.
Huh. Interesting call there indeed. And this restart will be interesting now because you got Weishart going to restart on the bottom, Swan on the outside, but he's got the slower tires, or the not so fresh ones that the 33 has, the 67 of Hearn has, the 3 of Hearts has. That top is going to be stuck this time by, if I had to guess. So we got to look to the bottom there with Weishart, Hearn, and 23 of Garrett Heath. Boy, good bit these guys have had rough nights, but they're up front still. Green flag flies once more. Oh. Was looking towards the back, but we did see the 3 of Hearts make a move down to the bottom. Really, if you look at all these guys, Weishart missed pit road during green flag pit stops, and I thought that was going to be the end of his run, but he's bounced back from that nicely. Cameron Hearn has spun out a couple times tonight.
Almost did there again.
He's still got a shot. Yeah. Ryan Hartz has had a solid night. Garrett Heath spun out once under green, and a yellow did not come out for that. Now Hart's looking to get second away from the 67. He's going to complete the pass there. Meanwhile, they're near the wall in the back with Balancino. They're still rolling. Oh, and a car spinning to the inside wall. Daniel Miglin to the inside wall.
11 laps left to go. Caution did not come out. Green flag still going.
So that 4 is still going. Don't think he hit the inside wall, but he got pretty close to it. Now we got to look at the 3 of Ryan Hartz closing in on the 33 of David Weishart. This is now anyone's race. Got 10 to go here from Darlington.
Hart's now on the back of the Weishart machine, looking to put some pressure on David Weishart. The 33 and the 3.
Yeah, but not too far back. You got Hearn and Heath watching,
side by
waiting to see
side,
what
the
will
3
happen.
to 33 at the stripe.
Yep, Hart's down on the bottom, going into turn 1. He's going to take the lead away from David Weishart. Ryan Hart's to the lead with 9 to go. Oh, and he got the wall that time. Weishart clipped it coming out of turn 2. Here comes the 67 of Hearn now to the bottom. Want to try and complete the pass as quick as possible. No, he'll settle back in line. That's going to allow the 3 of hearts to pull away even more. See if Weishart can get that car woed down and under control. See if he can run back. The 3 of hearts is actually he's got Hearn right behind him. Still trying to get around him. Ooh, loose that time on corner exit. Hearts loving what he's seeing. That gap continuing to grow between him and Weishart. Oh, and Weishart loose! Boy, Weishart lost it there in the middle of 1 and 2. He lost second, third, fourth, fifth. He's outside the top 5. Cameron Hearn, 1.1 seconds between him and Ryan Hartz. And Garrett Heath right behind him as well. Six laps to go from Darlington. Will the 67 of Hearn have enough time to run down the 3 of hearts? Now down to 5 to go. Said it when it was between the 91 of Jake Nichols and the 3 of Ryan Hartz. If there was any car that I'd pick that could have a shot against that 91 of Nichols, I would have said the 3 of Ryan Hartz. And now with the 91 car out of the mix, it is all Ryan Hartz leading the way with 4 to go.
So the 91 must have had heavy damage because he's only up to the 12th position on that restart, showing 14 seconds behind the race leader.
Yeah, when he got in the wall, he smacked it a ton. They're spread out now between Hearn and Heath. He's got a little bit of breathing room. Still 1.4 seconds. The gap between Hearn and Hartz as we approach 2 laps to go now from Darlington.
Yep, 2 to go. Hartz all by himself. No dump and run here.
No. Well, maybe not for the lead.
I don't know. Hearn, unless he gets a rocket pack.
Yeah, this one's all wrapped up.
Coming across the stripe for the 1 to go.
Yep, white flag. One final time around Darlington, presented by 1 to Go Studios. Boy, it was a wacky one for the last 50 laps or so. Caution after caution. Then we saw the emergence of Ryan Hartz. He's won in the CNC Logging Truck Series this year. He's won in the Lodge Box Series this year. And coming off turn 4, he's going to win in the Elite Entertainment Cup Series. He wins the Buttkicker Southern 500. If I'm not mistaken, Ryan Hartz is the only driver this year to win in all 3 area iRacing series.
It's possible. I'm not sure. I had to look that up. Oh, Ryan.
He's got a
Hartz,
couple of wins.
Hearn.
Yeah, he's got a couple of wins on the truck series, and he won in his one and only start at Bristol, where he led every single lap. And then at the very end here in Darlington, he slithers right into the lead and takes the checkered flag first. Cameron Hearn second, Garrett Heath third. We'll talk to those two in just a moment. And Randy Bechtel and Nick Johnston rounding out the top 5. We'll get a word with our race winner in just a moment as he's doing burnouts in the Coca-Cola Throwback. Let's go ahead and bring it up right now. We got Ryan Hartz, the race winner here from Darlington. Hunter and Harold in the booth got a copy.
Yes, sir.
Boy, towards the later restarts of that race, I said if there was anyone that could go against the 91 of Jake Nichols, which looked like the car to beat, I would have picked you. And who would have thought? Come home and win at Darlington. What was the last few restarts looking like for you?
Oh my God, man! Like I don't know. I don't even know what to say. Like I am so ecstatic right now. Halfway through the race, I was 2 laps down, and if you said I was gonna even have a remotely a chance to win this, I would have called you an idiot. Like just oh my God, man! For those last few restarts, I wanted to get at least a top 3 because that would have felt like a win. But on that final restart, I guess David and Cameron just didn't have the best of cars, or they had damage or something. And I was just able to get around them smoothly, and luckily I was able to pull away from them, and it was able to go green. I'm just so ecstatic winning with this paint scheme, supporting Dale Earnhardt, and able to come away with the win after being 2 laps down. Like I said to myself, that Bristol dirt win in the trucks was probably my favorite in this league. No, this tops it by far. Like I'm totally speechless right now.
Yeah, it is pretty special to win at Darlington. To tame the track that is too tough to tame in the 3-car, really, really good stuff there. Harold, any questions for our race winner?
Well, Ryan, I mean, you show perseverance, man. 2 laps down, you end up battling yourself back to the lead lap, and then through attrition. And we talked about, they say art imitates life or vice versa. Simulation shows up as being imitating the real life Cup Series, with attrition being what gets you the win today.
Yeah, I mean, it's that, and also you just never give up, really. I was just continuing to tell myself it's a long race, and I was a lap down to 2 laps down because I missed the pit entrance cone, and I got an unsafe pit entrance, so I was around like lap 70, I want to say, and I just kept telling myself we still got over 100 to go. So, just never give up, man. Seriously.
Absolutely, that is the saying, never give up, and that's what you did. You didn't give up, and you got the dub here. You won in the Truck Series and the Lodge Box Series this year, and now you've won in the Cup Series, so you won in all 3 series. Any shout-outs you'd like to give out before you go?
Yeah, man. Always thanks to you guys. You guys do a great job broadcasting. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I want to thank everybody at Jacob Bell Racing. Pretty much everybody had a good run tonight. I want to thank those guys, especially Jacob, because he was keeping me calm the entire race. And I want to thank everybody else who raced me clean. I don't even think I got an incident tonight. So yeah, I got to really thank everybody who raced us clean out there. And yeah, thanks to all our sponsors. Rick's Hot Sauce always coming on board, and yeah.
And Ryan, you are the only driver that finished the race that had a 0 incident.
Wow.
The only.
that is incredible stuff there, all while driving the 3-car. And it's remarkable to do that in a race of its own, but at Darlington, it's even more nuts. Well, congrats on the win. Soak it up.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, that was race winner Ryan Hartz there. What a remarkable story that is. Now let's bring up our second fiddle. Feel like every week he's running in second, or he's either wrecked by a lap car. But man, you earned that second place finish, Cameron.
Yeah, I wanted to give up about 75 laps into it, but I stuck it out, and things kind of worked out.
Yeah, at one point, Harold thought you were actually out of the race.
Yeah, the first green flag run, the long run under green flag conditions, I didn't take tires. So I had 80, 90 lap tires. I was the first car to pit under the second run through pit stops to try to like not go a lap down on the track. And probably the next lap, caution comes out, which is what I needed. And I'm 2 laps down. Cautions fell. We were pretty fast. Had some bad luck. Got caught up in a self-spun, checking up for someone else getting loose in front of me, and I got loose, spun out. Had some damage, a ton of damage on the rear. Car was super loose and a little bit down on power after that. But good thing is a lot of other cars tore up too. I'm disappointed in a second. I want that one spot, but literally a second's like a win tonight.
Absolutely. Harold, any questions for Cameron?
Well, like I say, Cameron, we saw the slide. The first slide brought out a caution, but you didn't touch anything. The second slide off of turn 4, you saw you getting collected by another car, and that's when I thought you were done.
Yeah, I thought I was done too, and I looked at the replay. That was like severe net code. Like my car just hit like an invisible wall, shot down the track, and it was one of these tracks like it was on entry, so I slid up the track, and I didn't know what to do in terms of I'm parked, I'm not moving, will people go around, or I didn't want to roll down the track and take someone out who's going to miss me. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things. I wish I maybe replay if I'd have rolled down, but at the time I was like, if your car is parked, at least I know where I'm at. So I just felt like I'd have saved some cars and myself. If I'd have rolled down the track, but at the time I didn't know what was going on.
All the incidents that took place, gotta say, Harold probably enjoyed seeing it because your throwback scheme was his best one. The best one that he saw in his eyes.
I was hoping I could still win.
But man, those later restarts, man, they started dropping like flies, and you still stuck with it. Got that second place finish. Got to feel good after that one. Any shots you want to give out before you go?
Yep, want to thank you guys for the broadcast, the league admins, Jacob Bell, Air iRacing, CNC Logging, Lead Entertainment Gaming, all my teammates. Made a fun, long race tonight. I'm sweating. It's my birthday. Shout out to my mom and dad. Great birthday dinner. Appreciate it. Love you. Shout out to my wife. Is putting up with me yelling and saying I need a Gatorade at 11:30 at night. Just appreciate all the people week in, week out who show up, because this honestly is one of the funnest places to drive. The talent is awesome. All that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night. Look forward to racing the rest of the week.
All right, you as well.
All right, thank you.
That was second place finishing driver Cameron Hearn, and now we'll bring up our third place driver. Man, it seems like every week that we already know who the top 2 are going to be, but the third one's always a wild card. And tonight, getting that third place finish was Garrett Heath for Infinite Racing. Garrett, Hunter, and Harold in the booth. Got a copy?
I do, buddy.
Boy, looking through here, it seems like everyone went through some sort of adversity to get to where they are at for the finish that they got, except for Ryan. Well, Ryan Horst was 2 laps down, but he was the only driver with 0 incident points at Darlington, which is crazy. But we just finished talking to Cameron. It seemed like he was involved in, I think, a third of the cautions and still got second. You spun during the long green flag run that we had, and the caution didn't come out, but you were able to bounce back from that. Take us through what your night was like after that spin.
I mean, I can tell you right now, before I had cars in front of me, hitting the wall, and the arrow will just put you in the wall with them, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if I knocked my toe out, but I lost all handle, and I had to pit way early, so I was going to do like an early pit stop strategy, and I guess it ended up working because I got third, but where I was just running, I was behind cars, halfway. I don't know what lap it was. I can't even remember. I was concentrating so hard when I spun, but I don't even know how I saved it. I can tell you that. I saved it, kept it going, didn't bring out a yell, so that was a positive. And I just kept trying my hardest to not spin out again and play some luck, and I got some luck. People kept wrecking, and cautions kept coming out. I took 2 wave rounds because I was 2 laps down. And I think there was 10 cars on the lead lap when I got put on the lead lap, because a lot of guys in front of me didn't even pit that were a lap down on one of the yellows. For some reason, they should have stayed out, but they didn't, so I got lucky there. And my car felt pretty good, so I was able to stay up there and challenge them for the win.
Harold, any questions for Garrett?
Just a pretty good job. Like you said, we saw you having some issues out there. A lot of guys looping it and no caution coming out. Still had a lot of cautions, even though a lot of them weren't counted that should have been. And then I echo what you were saying, though. There's some of these guys, maybe race control is going to look at the fact of, log jams starting for cars under power up in the front positions.
Yeah, it was a wild night. Like, we had guys staying out on real old tires with 15 laps to go or 20, and cause a wreck there. Cars down on power. These next gen cars, they can take a beating, but people need to realize that you can take a beating, but it doesn't mean it's going to be fast, and you're going to be in people's way, and you're going to create enemies. So hopefully, the more and more we race this, the more and more we understand these cars. There's still a lot of learning to do. Like, this car threw a big curveball at me in qualifying. Like, I was really fast all week practicing. I was fast in practice before qualifying. Then the thing just not turned, which was odd because this car was pretty loose all night. So it's a weird car. I'm loving it. It's a driver's car. So yeah.
Well, you did get a third place finish there. A good run for Infinite Racing. Excuse me. Any shots you'd like to give out before you go?
Shout out to Infinite, all my teammates. You got Nick, you got Dan, you got Jay. Jay, unfortunately, didn't have good luck tonight. RB Riggs, and you guys, awesome broadcast like always. I like to watch them. You guys are entertaining. I like to thank the league sponsors. I can't even remember who sponsors CNC, right? Or
it's Elite for this one, but we do have three. We have three for Elite, CNC, and Swift Lifestyles.
Yeah, those guys.
We'll help you out.
It's hard to keep up sometimes,
you don't have the race suit to look at. You need to go up one arm and down the other.
Right.
And before you go, I will add here with Nick Johnston's finish in 5th. I will say that Infinite Racing got the most points out of this race tonight from the team championship standings, because we know that you guys were like a little further back from Solar Flare Racing and Jacob Bell Racing, but with your drivers, including yourself, finishing 3rd and 5th, got the most points tonight for the team standings. Gotta be good as we head into an off week and going to focus on the All-Star race on Tuesday. So we'll let you go and celebrate the 3rd place finish. Have a good night.
All right, man. Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Alrighty. That was Garrett Heath, your 3rd place finisher. We'll get your finishing results here as Ryan Hart's. Boy, what a win that is. 0 incident points right there at the very end. Never give up. Winning the Buttkicker Southern 500. Cameron Hearn 2nd, Garrett Heath 3rd. Just talked to those two. Randy Bechtel and Nick Johnston rounding out the top 5 with David Weishart coming home 6th. Alan Balancino 7th. Matt Alverson 8th. Forrest Smith with a top 10 in 9th. And Jake Nichols rallying back after making contact with the wall late in the going. Coming home P10.
11th was Jordan Martin in the 11. That's kind of cool. Dan Miglin 4th. Swan was 13th. Dan Miglin was 12th, sorry. 13th was Ryan Swan. Tyler Sifford 14th. Jake Bell 15th. And then starting the 2 laps back, Dwayne Culberson. And then 10 back, Delonte Ballard. 16 back, Tyler Nichols. 20 back, Gary Lewis. And Paul Irvin, 30 laps back.
Then we got Matthew Robinson, Dom DeLeo, Ed Robertson, Shane Williamson, Justin Wilson, Connor Okrezik, James Skyoli, Garrett Grant, Chris Seinfein, and Rafe Slate, 21st through 30th.
And rolling out 31 to 37, Perkins, Patterson, Caps, Green, Shane Wolf, Larch, and Brad Slaughter.
We'll take a look at our race recap presented by Elwood Designs. I'm almost confident that Jake Nichols led the most laps, but Ryan Hart's got the win, leading 9 of the 200 laps. 10 cautions for 39 laps. Towards the end, we saw a good bit of those 10 cautions come out, and James Skyoli, fastest lap with a 29.389. Boy, this race was so long. I literally forgot that he put down the fastest lap and that he was up there. It feels like we had 2 or 3 races all wrapped into one, Harold.
I think so.
That's just how long these races are at Darlington.
We've been working. The broadcast has been almost 3 hours.
Oh man,
we're about 5 minutes shy of 3 hours.
Well, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. It's past my bedtime.
Yes.
If I do have a bedtime, I don't even know at this point because I've been up that long.
So we'll see you guys tomorrow night here for the truck series, the CNC truck series tomorrow night, and then we got the Lodge Box on Thursday night, all here at Darlington. Then we're coming back for a special week for the All-Star race on Tuesday night, ARCA Cars at Atlanta. So we'll be watching social medias for that.
Alrighty, and Harold just said, so we'll go and wrap it up here. From executive producer Harold Turner, I'm Hunter Slebby saying so long and good night.
Yeah, good night.
What an exciting race brought to you by Wendigo Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.